I'm Doug Brown. The Miami Heat hope to take their mystifying zone defense all the way to the NBA Finals with a win tonight in Game 5 against the Celtics. ESPN's Vince Carter thinks tonight might be tough on Miami, though.
This is desperation now, so they're going to be pressing to play well. And sometimes when you do that, you play outside of your character or what is asked of you to do. And I think right now the Miami Heat has found the formula to win games.
Vince Carter on Get Up. Coverage of Game 5 starts at 8 Eastern here on ESPN Radio. The game is also on ESPN TV. The 49ers will go with Nick Mullins at quarterback Sunday against the Giants. Jimmy Garoppolo has a high right ankle sprain. Tight end George Kittle is also out for Sunday with a sprained left knee. Jaguars linebacker Leon Jacobs will miss the rest of the season with a torn ACL in his right knee. Jacobs was carted off the field last night against the Dolphins. Major League Baseball has now gone almost 4 weeks without a positive test for COVID-19. The shortened regular season ends on Sunday.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right. And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The Brain. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. It is a Football Friday on AFR. My goodness, we made it here, and we are thrilled to be here and glad you are as well. A quick rundown, if you don't remember, Phil Steele in 15 minutes will preview the biggest games in college football. Jay Ducote football tailgate segment coming up later this hour. Theriot in hour 2. We will have our guest picker to start hour 3, and I am quite excited about this guest picker straight up 5 o'clock. We will get to that later in the show. We will preview LSU Mississippi State. We will preview Saints-Packers on Sunday Night Football. We will give you picks. We are really, really, really looking forward to this show and glad to have you hanging out with us here. So I'm not sure if you saw this, but this got so much play today. ESPN's FPI, the Football Power Index, right? It's a computer simulation. Well, they simulated the whole season, and they put up the results today. Well, you'll be happy to know, well, maybe some of you will be happy to know, LSU, according to the FBI, went 9-1. Now, I've told you, I guess today we can officially tell you what my pick is for the season. I think LSU goes 8-2. I've said it enough, but I think 10 games, 10 SEC games, that's brutal. Hard to think anybody goes undefeated in that stretch. I think LSU has 6 layups, and then I think they split the 4 difficult games, Auburn, Florida, A&M, and, of course, the home game at Bama. I think they go 2-2 in those, and whichever 2 it plays out to be, I think will determine maybe if LSU could win a tiebreaker and get back in the playoff. But at 8-2, I think you're back in the New Year's 6, which would be a really good season. FPI has LSU going 9-1. The only loss being a close loss to Bama. So that's a little disappointing. It is worth mentioning, though, this is a computer. The Final Four that they have is number 1, Texas, winning the Big 12 and being the number 1 seed, against number 4, Alabama. Bama losing the SEC championship game to Florida, but still getting in. And then Ohio State is the 2 seed, Florida as the 3 seed. You may say, where's Clemson? Well, Clemson, they have losing to Notre Dame in the regular season, then beating them in the ACC championship game. So ACC left out, and a one-loss Bama gets in as the 4 seed, and Florida, as a one-loss SEC champion, is the 3 seed. Again, just a computer simulation. But they have Texas playing Florida for the national championship with Florida winning it. what I saw from so many people like, yeah, I figured ESPN backdoor Bama into the playoff. I'm like, hey. It's a computer, man. Brain. Like, you should see my Twitter. Like, I want to go through my Twitter mentions of all we are so in full season mode already, man. We are in regular season mode, mid-season form.
You can't make that up.
I want to go scroll through my mentions right now and find the guy who's like, figured they'd, here it is. Colin, God bless. Here you go. I don't want to out him like this because I'm sure he's a good guy. Cullen Whitaker. Of course they backdoor Bama into the playoffs. Hey, bro. It's just a computer simulation. Like, they just punched in the data, the computer spit out the results, and that's what it says. So don't worry about it, man.
Yeah, but what data they punching in, Matt?
Hey, man, they could have picked any one of those simulations, and that's the one they went with. Okay, well, I digress. But here's a couple of interesting things. This does validate a few things. Number one, they have Florida beating Texas for the national championship. I think, I've said this before, I think this is Florida's year. Not to win the national championship. I think that's a stretch. But this is Florida's year to win the East. If Florida doesn't get it done this year with Kyle Trask, who's the leading returning passer in the SEC, Kyle Trask was second to Joe Burrow a year ago in passing yards in the SEC. Now, Tua had an injury, so that obviously affected that. But still, you had a guy that threw for 3,000 yards at Florida last year back, and they have a favorable schedule. If Florida can't get it done this year, it's fair to look and go, when are you going to get that done, Dan? I think LSU 9-1 with only loss being a close loss to Bama would be a phenomenal season for this team. And what it would do is it would assert LSU. It would do exactly what we've talked about all offseason. Can LSU be a team that reloads, not rebuilds? That's the big question I have about this year. Can you lose 14 players to the NFL draft, your passing game coordinator, your Heisman quarterback, 5 first-round draft picks? Can you lose all of that and still be a national title contender, still be a playoff contender? If the answer is yes, I got news for you, Coach. LSU's never going to lose more than they did this year. And if you can still be right there in the national championship mix again in spite of all those losses, you've established yourself now along with Clemson and Ohio State and Alabama as the teams that every year are going to be mentioned in that playoff conversation because you're just always going to have better talent than everybody else. So 9-1 this year would be incredible if that panned out. The other is, and I did pick, Texas is my pick in the Big 12 this year, and it's not so much, I know some of you are going to go, right, Tom Herman, whatever. The point is, Texas returns everybody on their defense from a year ago except Malcolm Roach, who of course is with the Saints now. And that offense was Sam Ehlinger in a year where, and I think you're going to see this throughout college football, in a year where off seasons were so disrupted, where you have players opting out, where you have programs that have a veteran quarterback, stability at head coach, you're going to see those teams thrive a bit. I look at Oklahoma and I see Jalen Hurts is gone. Spencer Rattler is a redshirt freshman, is a talented guy. I mean, we've already seen Oklahoma put up some big stats when they played. But I still look at Oklahoma not elite on the defensive side of the ball. Texas has brought in Chris Ash. Remember Chris Ash, who was at Ohio State, then was the head coach at Rutgers. He's now the DC for Tom Herman at Texas. They get everybody back. I think Texas is going to have a really good defense. Senior quarterback at Sam Ehlinger. They're loaded at running back. I do think Texas wins the Big 12 this year. In the Big 10, Ohio State is the very easy answer there. And I think Clemson in the ACC is also the easy answer. I'm not so sold on Notre Dame, having watched them play twice now. They really struggled against Duke athletically, which was surprising to see. Now, they outclassed South Florida this past weekend, and they're not going to play this week because of COVID, but I'm not so sure. I think Notre Dame is the second best team in the conference, although Miami may have something to say about that, and this will be a fun game this weekend with Miami and Florida State to kind of determine where Miami is, if they're ready to continue being in that upper echelon year 2 under Manny Diaz with De'Aaron King at quarterback. Point is, I think you're having a lot of status quo in college football, but you're going to look at programs where they have a returning quarterback, stability at head coach, that is going to be beneficial in this type of season. My question as it pertains to LSU is, while you have a junior quarterback, but a fourth-year quarterback, he hasn't played. So you've got a veteran guy there who's waited his turn, but he's not experienced. So how does that play out? It's why LSU is, I'm not saying this because I'm the local guy, LSU is one of, if not the most interesting teams in all of college football this year. Can they reestablish themselves coming off the greatest season ever, but where you lost everything? Like, can you still be elite? Everybody's going to want to find out. Start to get that answer at 2:30 tomorrow. We're going to get Phil Steele's opinion on that game coming up here shortly. Every Friday on a Football Friday, Phil Steele, of course, Phil Steele College Football Preview Magazine, the predominant college football preview magazine. Phil Steele joins us every Friday in hour one here on AFR. When we come back, Phil will pick the biggest games in college football this weekend, including LSU, Mississippi State from Tiger Stadium. Glad to have you hanging out with us here on a Football Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, where, by the way, we will be tomorrow, Jordy Collada and I, as soon as the game ends with LSU and Mississippi State. Fire up the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Facebook Live or the Watch 104.5 YouTube channel. We will be live recapping the game as soon as it goes final. Hang out with me and Jordy tomorrow and every single game day from Don Juan Cigar Bar. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. Come back. Phil Steele next.
AFR.
It is not too late. Carriages in Bocage, they are open until 6 p.m. So you've got, throughout the duration of this show, to go see our friends over at Carriages in Bocage to pick up some of their officially licensed LSU game day gear. You can go anywhere and buy the same T-shirt or polo that everybody else has. Or you can go to Carriages, classier game day line. The Johnny O brand polo with the Eye of the Tiger logo, gorgeous. They've got it. They've got the lavender polos as well, the Peter Millar performance gear with the national championship logo, the Sailor Mike. They've got the solid and the lavender with the horizontal thin white stripe. Check it out at Carriages in Bocage or online at carriagesbr.com. Carriagesbr.com. They'll ship anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. They've got polos and socks and belts and shorts and pants and shirts. They got you one place. Carriages in Bocage or carriagesbr.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a Tundra for $7,000 off MSRP. That's right, $7,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Do you know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community without being asked? We think that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust. If you know someone who exhibits all of these qualifications, nominate them for a Good Citizen Award, and they could receive $500 from Citizens Bank. And we'll recognize them here on the show. Get the details at citizensbankandtrust.com, and then nominate your good citizen.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
$11,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Well, it would not be a Football Friday on AFR without the man, the myth, the legend, Phil Steele. He is good enough to join us again for Football Fridays to preview the biggest games in college football. Phil, it is really good to hear your voice, man. How are you?
Same here, Matt. I tell you what, buddy, I've been missing it during the month of September. Normally we've done 4 or 5 shows already by this time, but it's good that we're finally talking again and we're playing football across the country.
The SEC is back this week, and that's where I kind of want to have a heavy lean. And I know that some of the other games we'll talk about, Phil, you'll be able to give some perspective because there's already been 3 weeks of football. But let's start with, and I'll just go as far as kickoff times go. We got a really interesting early morning kickoff with Florida at Ole Miss, and in part because, of course, it's the debut of Lane Kiffin, but also, Phil, there's a ton of people who are really high on Florida this year. It's a big number. Florida's a 2-touchdown favorite. How do you think Lane Kiffin is going to adjust year one there in Oxford?
Well, I think of all the first-year head coaches in the SEC this year, Matt, that Lane Kiffin probably steps into the best situation. Matt Luke did not leave the cupboard bare. Brought in some great freshmen last year. You know, you look at the fact they had John Rice Plumlee at quarterback. At running back, they had a dynamic freshman as well. Freshmen basically all throughout the lineup. Matt Corral, Jerrion Ely, Snoop Connor. I could go on. And Lane Kiffin inherits all these guys, and they're now sophomores. He's not making a drastic change on the offense, going to keep it fairly similar to what it was. And so I think of all the first-year head coaches without spring practice, and I do think most inexperienced head coaches will struggle, or most first-year head coaches will struggle without spring practice, I think he'll fare the best. So I think he comes out of that pretty good. And in this matchup against Florida, Florida's got a lot of things you would like. They've got a veteran offensive line this year, which they didn't have last year. They've got Kyle Trask back at quarterback. They're always going to have an outstanding defense, and they look like they could be the team that wins the East this year. We'll have to see. But I think Ole Miss can keep this one a little bit tighter than the 14 points. So I'm looking for a good football game here, and of the first-year head coaches, probably the best debut for any of them.
Maybe one of the most intriguing games in the SEC Week 1, Phil, is what's going to happen on the Plains. Kentucky's a ranked team. Auburn's a ranked team. And Bo Nix, Phil, could be one of the real pendulum swing players, not only in the SEC, but in the entire country if he really elevates in year 2. So what do we expect Saturday morning on the Plains, Kentucky visiting Auburn?
Yeah, you got to love Bo Nix and some of the receivers. I mean, the speed they have with guys like Anthony Schwartz and Seth Williams, they've got a lot of talent there. My biggest question mark here for Auburn this year is exactly the opposite of last year. Last year, the strength for Auburn was clearly the line of scrimmage. They had one of the best offensive lines in college football. They have one of the best defensive lines in college football. Now, they still have a really good defensive line, but they no longer have Marlon Davidson. They no longer have Derek Brown. So they're a little bit weaker on the defensive line than they were last year. And the offensive line, big-time question marks. They have got basically 0 starters coming back on the offensive line, and that's a question mark to me. I didn't even rank them in my top 50 offensive lines coming in the season because of the inexperience. On the flip side of the coin, with Kentucky, once again, it's the exact opposite of last year. Last year, they were inexperienced on both fronts, and now experience abounds for this Kentucky team. They've got my number 5 rated offensive line. The defensive front 7 is loaded. They've got size. They've got speed. They've got strength. It looks like a legitimate SEC defensive front seven. So I think Kentucky's got the line of scrimmage advantage in this game. Now, Auburn's, the question mark they had last year was the skill players. Skill players are answered. I think they're better there. The linebacking core is a question mark last year. They've got one of the better linebacking cores in the country. I think it's going to be a great football game. Wouldn't surprise me if Kentucky pulled the upset, though. I'm a line of scrimmage kind of guy.
Interesting. Phil Steele's with us, Football Friday. Remember, Phil Steele's magazine you can pick up at both Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. So if football season doesn't start for you until you have Phil Steele's magazine, the college football preview in your hand, you can get the hard copy at Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. Make sure you check out philsteele.com. That's STEELE, philsteele.com. We'll get back into the SEC in the second year, Phil, but a couple non-SEC games I'm interested in. We've seen both Army and Cincinnati play already this year. It's a ranked matchup. Cincinnati's a couple touchdown favorite. But, Phil, I might be crazy. I think Army could actually win this game, and there's not a game on the schedule when I look at with Army where I go, yeah, no shot there. Army, could they be a sneaky team that might make some noise this year?
Yeah, quite possibly. And, it goes back to my conversation with Coach Monken this spring, or actually this summer. It usually is in the spring, but it was in the summer this year, going over the Army team with them. And he basically felt that last year Army put too much into that Michigan game. They were coming off of all these 10, 11-win seasons, feeling pretty high, and they really felt they were going to beat Michigan. And they took them to overtime, as it was. And a couple of missed field goals, they could have beaten Michigan. He said when they lost that game, sort of took the luster off the season, didn't have the team playing with the same effort, and it really affected them. And what happened was they cratered. They went 5-8 last year, which is actually very surprising for an Army team. Now, this year's squad playing with a lot more confidence. I like what I see out of Christian Anderson at the quarterback spot. And how about the defense? They switched defensive coordinators. 2 years ago, Army gave up just 296 yards per game. Last year, they slipped to 342. This year, they're back to having a dominant defense. Now, Cincinnati is the more talented team. Desmond Ritter's back at QB. Luke Fickell's doing a tremendous job building this team. But I would have to agree with you. I think when you look at the rest of the schedule for Army, if the Cadets were to steal this one, and I think they have that possibility, I definitely like them plus the big points here. If they win this game, they probably will be favored in every other game this year.
Let's go to the ACC. The game, Phil, when I was young, it was the game in college football. It's Florida State at Miami. It's lost a lot of that luster, and I know everyone seems to mention that. We've mentioned that probably for 20 years now as this game has faded a bit. But De'Ara King, Phil, you and I, when we spoke before the season started, you mentioned how Miami was your most improved team of the season. And so far, it looks like they're showing it at 2-0. There's a lot to dissect here, Phil, but I'd also like your thought, not just on this game, but also the impact of Mike Norvell not being able to coach this game as he misses with COVID.
Yeah, it's generally the head coach on game day is not going to be massive. They make a decision. Generally, the coordinators call the plays, and the head coach makes a couple of fourth down decisions, things like that. So I don't think that's going to have a massive effect on the game. And this is one where, it's a rivalry game. Florida State's the underdog. The visitor does well. The dog does well. See a lot of factors point towards Florida State here, but I just don't see it on the field. When you look at Florida State against Georgia Tech, they only mustered 307 total yards against Georgia Tech. Miami's got a better defensive line, and when you look at Miami's defensive line this year, it should be one of the better units in the country. They're taking on an offensive line that last year allowed 48 sacks. And they might be a little bit better this year, but not much. They only averaged 3.1 yards per carry against Georgia Tech, allowed 3 sacks, and I think they're going to struggle here. And on the flip side of the coin, I just love what I see out of De'Ara King, Cam Harris at running back. He's only averaging 10.3 yards per carry. They've got Brevin Jordan, Mark Pope at the receiver spot, so plenty of talent for this Miami team. And remember, Florida State was outgained 438-307 by Georgia Tech. Miami's at home. They beat them 27-10 last year in Tallahassee. I'm going to take Miami minus the points in that one.
Phil, I cheated. I watched your Phil Steele Plus tour on YouTube today, so I already knew where you were going with there. By the way, if you're not subscribed to Phil's YouTube channel, you need to be. He gives away a couple of free selections each week, the full breakdown on how to use Phil Steele Plus. Go to YouTube, type in Phil Steele, subscribe to his page, take the Phil Steele Plus tour every Friday. Trust me, it can be very lucrative. Your picks have done pretty well so far this year, Phil. So you're being quite generous to the masses that care to subscribe to you on YouTube.
Well, thank you very much, Matt. Really appreciate it. Put a lot of work in those videos, so we'd love to get more and more people watching them each week.
A couple of more that I want to ask you about. Let's go back to the SEC for the nightcap, and then we'll look at LSU and Mississippi State. Tennessee at South Carolina. Tennessee's high on Jeremy Pruitt. South Carolina's got a new coordinator and quarterback. Tennessee. This is a shorter line, Phil, than many might anticipate. 3.5 for the Vols, 3.5-point favorite. Is this a game that we're really expecting South Carolina is going to be able to hang?
Oh, absolutely. Go back to last year. South Carolina is a team that really the last 2 years has been one of the most banged-up teams in college football. Last year they had injuries on the defensive line, linebacker, secondary, quarterback, running back, receiver, offensive line. And there was a point in the year, though, where they beat Georgia. I thought they were outplaying Florida until that 75-yard holding call that wasn't called in that game. I thought that South Carolina could easily have beaten Florida that game. They had a 387, 354-yard edge. Then the injuries really caught up to them after that. Now they're healthy. Don't have the injuries. When I talked to Coach Muschamp this year, he mentioned they had a brand-new guy for a strength and conditioning coach. Hopefully they stay healthier. And they've got a new coordinator, Mike Bobo. He's got the quarterback that he had at Colorado State, which makes them a little bit dangerous. They've got the talent enough to beat Georgia last year. So I think this is a heck of a football game. Will Muschamp knows he's on the hot seat, knows he needs victories, and I do think this is a coin flip type of game where Tennessee's loaded. They won their last 6 games last year, and like Coach Muschamp, who feels good about his team, Coach Pruitt really feels good about his team. In fact, the first year I talked to him, Matt, going over the squad with him, he was not happy about the talent he inherited. He was coming from Alabama and Georgia, and he was amazed at the lack of talent Tennessee had last year. Not enamored with it. This year, he said they've got the talent to play with anybody on their schedule. So these are, to me, in my mind, 2 go-with teams, and I think it's a pivotal game for both teams.
He is Phil Steele. Make sure you pick up Phil Steele College Football Preview Magazine, Barnes & Noble, and Books A Million. Phil, before we get to the LSU game, just to clarify, because of the wacky offseason, that's the limited release where people, if you want the hard copy, you can either get it online or exclusively Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, correct?
That's right. So don't go out to the Walmarts and the grocery stores and things like that. Only at Barnes & Noble, only at Books A Million. But they do have the copies right now. And then I know the schedules have changed, and the schedule is really about 1/10 the part of the magazine. But on philsteele.com, we actually have the updated schedules with angles for every game in color, printed 2 up, and you could just paste them off or run them off on your color copier and then paste them back in your magazine, and you'll have all the schedules up to date. But Barnes & Noble and Books A Million are your 2 best locations, or the only locations to get them.
All right, Phil, before you go, LSU, the defending champs, I don't think anybody's expecting Joe Burrow in the single greatest season in college football history, but they were a 21-point favorite over State. That line's down to 16.5. Why a little more confidence in Mike Leach in that offense in this game than maybe we initially thought?
No, I think the bulk of it is the deletions. People react to people leaving, and Jamar Chase left it from gone. Have you heard anything on Tyler Shelvin? Is there a possibility he could come back?
He actually formally announced on his Twitter account on Thursday that he is declared for the draft. He will not return.
Okay. So you look at LSU, and the big hype this year is they've lost everybody. The one thing I looked at LSU when I was going through the roster, they got a lot of talent throughout. I think Miles Brennan will have a good year. You're looking at a guy like John Emery at running back. Losing Chase hurts him at receiver, but they had my number 1 receiving core. So now they'll probably only have my number 10 or 15 receiving core heading in. They've got some talent on the offensive line. I like Jabril Cox coming in from North Dakota State at linebacker. So I think there is plenty of talent on this team. And when I look at Mississippi State, I talked about first-year head coaches. And this is really a year where I think first-year head coaches are going to struggle, especially without a spring practice. Mississippi State did not have spring practice. And remember Arkansas 2 years ago. Brett Bielema had a big offensive line, liked to run the football. Chad Morris came in my conversations with him. He was amazed they had no depth at wide receiver, and he didn't like big offensive linemen. He wanted small, speedy offensive linemen. So it was going to be a process to get that thing turned around. Well, Mike Leach is stepping into an even tougher situation. Mississippi State's been a run ball club. Their quarterbacks have been geared to the run. They've offensive linemen geared to the run. And now he's coming in and switching them to an offense that at Washington State, they pass the ball more than any other team in the country, a higher percentage. So they're going to a pure pass offense like he ran at Washington State. His first year at Washington State, I think they went 4-8. and they only averaged about 21 points per game that first year. And then throw in the fact he didn't have spring practice to help expedite the change. I think it's going to be a long year for Mississippi State and that offense, and a big learning curve for Mike Leach. So I like LSU in the opener, and I'm glad that number is coming down. Makes it a little bit more comfortable. I'll take LSU minus the 16.5.
He is Phil Steele, philsteele.com. That's Steele, philsteele.com. The first, the most accurate, the most famous college football preview magazine. You can get it only at Barnes & Noble and Books A Million, or, of course, online at philsteele.com. But if you want to go get it in your hand today, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million in the greater Baton Rouge area, or wherever in the state of Louisiana you're listening or watching us right now. Phil's going to be with us every Friday. And, Phil, that sounds really good to say, man. We appreciate your time. We'll talk again next week.
Always great to hear your voice, Matt, and glad that football is back in SEC country. We'll talk to you next week, my friend.
Amen to that. Phil Steele, philsteele.com, Steele, philsteele.com. Make sure you check it out. I mentioned it before, but check out Phil's YouTube channel because he gives away free selections. So you can go to Inside the Press Box and subscribe and get all of Phil's picks and everything, but he gives away free picks. And through the first 3 weeks, the first week he was maybe 3-1, and last week I think he was 4-1. So he's on it, man. Phil's done really, really well with those picks. So if you're playing, you want a little edge, you can go check out Phil Steele, the Phil Steele Plus Tour on the Phil Steele YouTube channel. All right, Jay Ducote in about 15 minutes from right now. Our Friday tailgate, our Football Friday tailgate. Really disappointing that no one's actually going to be tailgating out at campus. But if you're going to be home gating, tailgating at home, remember our tailgate at home sweepstakes with our friends over at Sazerac Rye. Jay's going to give you some recommendations, what you can throw on the grill to cook the competition with Mississippi State coming in for a 2:30 kickoff. That's coming up in 15 minutes. Theriot in studio 30 minutes from right now. Glad you're hanging out with us here on a Football Friday edition of AFR. Stick around.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. Agent225.com. Agent225.com. Buying or selling, commercial or residential. If you need to sell your home, you need Darren James. Think real estate, think Darren James. Darren has amazing programs for his buyers. Think about this. Working with Darren obligates you to nothing. If at any point you're not thrilled with the service that you're getting, you can fire Darren. Let you out of the contract free and clear, no questions asked. You can walk. But you won't because he gets results. Also, remember, Darren has a love it or leave it program. Buy a home from Darren within a year. If you have to move or whatever, hate the home, get transferred for work, whatever, he will sell your home for free for his half of the commission. Look, the average home that's listed for sale by owner, 73% end up hiring a realtor. Save yourself the time and the money. Call Darren James and get your home sold. Think real estate. Think Darren James.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Here at the Big Squeezy, we continue to serve the Baton Rouge and Southeast Louisiana areas during these troubling times. We are dedicated to providing you healthy food items to help you live your best life. From our cold-pressed juices to our delicious smoothies, let the Big Squeezy keep you going. Stay active, stay happy, and let us help you stay healthy. Visit us at our locations and also inside of Alexander's and Mathern's grocery stores or online at thebigsqueezy.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
You probably know that yesterday, shortly after we got off the air on Thursday, the Pac-12 made their formal announcement that they will return in November for a 7-game schedule. We also now know that the Mountain West is returning, but the Mountain West is going to return in October. They'll return October 24th and play an 8-game schedule. So 2 more leagues that had previously opted out are now back in the fold. So many of you, whenever you saw the Pac-12 news, tweeted me and asked if there was going to be another rant. Last week, if you were not here on Wednesday, when the Big Ten formally got back in line, I teed off on all of the snooty elitists who pointed their finger. Let me be very clear about something. I am very, very, very happy. If you go back and listen to the Big Ten rant from last week, I started by saying this. I am very happy for the players, the coaches, the fans, whose leadership did not lead and nearly robbed them of their chance for a season. The fans to watch games that they love and the players and coaches to play games that they work so hard to play for. So I'm very happy that those leagues are going to play. I'm happy for the players. Think about a guy like Malik Antoine. Malik Antoine is a Baton Rouge guy. U-High's been on the show. He's on with us a couple of times whenever Stanford and the Pac-12 is all going through their cancellation decision. That's a guy who's going into his senior year as a captain at Stanford and had his year taken away. And now he's going to get to play again. And Malik and I actually texted earlier today, and he's pumped. He was like, man, it's lit around here. The guys are so fired up. And I'm pumped for them, like legitimately excited for the players that are going to get an opportunity to have their season. But I very much am enjoying pointing and laughing at the snooty elitists who look down on the leagues in the South that continued moving forward because they're all proven wrong now. And also those weak-minded simpletons, and you know who you are, who blow up my Twitter and my Facebook and YouTube mentions, and it's like every day just lobbing bombs. It's almost like the cartoon where, like whenever a cartoon will like throw a grenade and they forgot to pull the pin, and then you like pull the pin and throw it back at them and like, oh crap, and it blows up. Like that's kind of the reality that's facing. Like King Alexander, do you realize freezing cold takes got after King Alexander for his reality comment? What do you see the SEC doesn't? I don't know. Reality. Freezing cold takes, a Twitter account with hundreds of thousands of followers, got after F. King Alexander, and it was beautiful. By the way, so those who are wondering, I did last Thursday go in hard on King Alexander. So if you missed that, go catch AFR On Demand from last Thursday. I'm not going to recite the whole thing, but I did go after him. And it was a lot of fun. F. King Alexander. All right, Jay Ducote here in a little less than 10 minutes from right now, our Football Friday tailgate segment. Right now, though, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Kentucky Wildcats.
So Kentucky probably will not have former Auburn quarterback Joey Gatewood available when it faces the Tigers on Saturday. Mark Stoops telling reporters he's not optimistic about getting an SEC ruling on Gatewood's waiver request. The NCAA has approved Gatewood for immediate eligibility. The SEC, however, is dragging its feet. That means Bo Allen, freshman, is likely Terry Wilson's backup when Kentucky is on the plane Saturday.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Will Muschamp has named his starting running back for the season opener against Tennessee. It's sophomore Kevin Harris. He'll get the nod right now over Deshaun Fenwick and Zaquandre White. Harris is the top returning rusher from a year ago. He ran for 179 yards and 4 touchdowns. A couple other notes there. In Columbia, South Carolina, Jamar Brown, sophomore safety and linebacker. He's a game-time decision Saturday against Tennessee. Meanwhile, senior linebacker Spencer Eason Riddle is available to play.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Coach Sam Pittman and offensive coordinator Kendall Briles are touting redshirt senior TJ Hammonds. Hammonds, who's bounced around a little during his time there in Fayetteville, he is now full-time wide receiver, and he is either the starter or second-teamer in the slot, so expect a lot from TJ Hammonds. He will also affect the game, the coach said, in the return game.
The Auburn Tigers.
And Jeopardy contestants. Not too keen on the Iron Bowl. Yesterday, Thursday, the category. A is for autumn, the $400 clue. Each fall, Alabama and this SEC football arch rival meet in the Iron Bowl. One contestant answered Arkansas. Nope. Sarah and the champion, Robert, each declined to chime in. It's a big deal here. It's not a big deal everywhere.
Football questions on Jeopardy as a whole never fly.
I would say never, but more often than not. I agree with you that sports tends to struggle with the Jeopardy crowd. But my point remains, college football, massive here, not massive everywhere else, which is why also SEC, we don't need the stupid rivalries every year. You may care, those two fan bases care, nobody else cares. There you have it, that is around the SEC. Presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. They're online, gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. We will knock out a quick break. Jay Ducote, the Football Friday tailgate segment is next. What's Jay cooking up? We'll find out next. AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital. They're online at brgeneral.org. brgeneral.org, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network. So you've heard me talk about the Mayo Clinic Care Network before, but for those who haven't or aren't familiar, you know the Mayo Clinic. It's one of the foremost medical facilities in the world. Well, the Mayo Clinic has a care network whereby hospitals around the country can be part of their network and have access to the Mayo Clinic's award-winning research, world-class research, and specialists. So if your doctor here in Baton Rouge wants to consult with a specialist at the Mayo Clinic and have access to their research, they have that at no extra cost to you. That's expanding, broadening, improving healthcare for you here. That is the Baton Rouge General Hospital. Learn more at brgeneral.org. brgeneral.org for the Baton Rouge General Hospital, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network, brgeneral.org. One more time, brgeneral.org.
$11,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hello? What's up, B? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. and we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving them.
Here you go.
All right.
Top speed.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. At LSU, we play hard, but we tailgate harder. Light your burner. Fire up the grill. It's time for our Football Fridays tailgate recipe of the week with celebrity chef Jay Ducote
I was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I really learned how to cook tailgating for LSU football.
of BitingBooze.com.
There's whole pigs cooking in Cajun microwaves and big cast iron pots of gumbo and jambalaya and red beans and rice and these amazing South Louisiana dishes. That's how I learned how to cook.
All right, it would not be a Football Friday without Jay Ducote. It is the Jay Ducote Football Friday tailgate segment. You hear Jay on our sister station, Talk 107.3 FM, every weekday 4 to 6. So Jay comes in here just before he goes downstairs and does his show on the second floor. What's up, dude?
Glad to be back, man. Glad football season is back.
This looks incredible. All right, we're going to talk about that in a second. I'm going to give you this before I forget.
Yes.
Shout out to Dead Soxy. Dead Soxy, our sponsor. Let me,
Wow.
look, I got mine on.
Wow.
Check out my Dead Soxy.
Oh, man. I needed new socks, too. Oh, these are beautiful.
You like them? So that's one of their new SKUs. I have like the Digi Camo purple and gold. Those are the Tiger Stripe ones.
That they are.
So you can go to deadsoxy.com, and you use the promo code AFR. No, use promo code GO. Use promo code GO, GEAUX, save 30% off your order. Or you can get a link, too, that I'll post on my Facebook page where they'll give you $10 free to shop at deadsoxy.com. Get your purple and gold socks. Get your Tiger Stripe socks. Now, for football season, they have the mid-calves and the no-shows. DeadSoxy.com, the new standard in premium dress socks. And Dead Soxy gives all of our guests on AFR a gift, so there is your gift, sir.
I'm into that.
Okay. Bulldogs. We're not eating dogs, but we're kind of eating dogs.
Yeah, we're
Kinda
eating the dogs. We got to eat our opponent. It's the first game. It's the first home game. It's weird because we're not tailgating. I went to Burgersmith and picked up some gourmet dogs. These things are glorious.
Oh my god!
If you've never had Burgersmith's chili, they're awesome. The ones that have chili on them, I mean, just dig in if you want to. They've got some pickles, some red onions, some bacon and fried green tomatoes over here with some yellow mustard. I've got some sauteed mushrooms and onions with some jalapenos on this one.
So is that like a cheesesteak?
Yeah.
Kind of like that?
Kind of going that direction with it. Yeah, with these hot dogs.
What's that one right there with the fried stuff on it?
That's the fried green tomatoes, bacon, lettuce, mustard, hot dog.
That one, is that avocado?
Yep. There's some avocado on there with some chili and some of their Smith sauce.
Okay, let me
from
ask.
Burger Smith.
So shout out to Burger Smith.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic place. Does the one? So I go to the one Highland by Blue Bayou, but the one right here by Acadian and Perkins had their own beer. Do they still have that, like an in-house brew?
They do not. But
okay,
but all,
that was a long. I mean, it's been a long since I've been to that one. The one on the other side of town would have been.
The government kind of got in the way of restaurants doing that because you have to label it correctly, and then they'd have. It's a whole thing.
No, it's all
but
good.
All Burger Smith locations do have nothing but Louisiana craft beer on tap. So
sweet, that is really cool.
They're great. They support local very well.
Okay, so if someone's at home this weekend and they want to do, so you could obviously go to Burger Smith and get any of these amazing things.
Load up.
If you want to do a hot dog, like I'm candidly just not really a hot dog guy. Like if I'm at a ball game, I'll go get a hot dog and I'll load it up, right? Like if I'm at a baseball game, I'll get the relish and just
sure.
But if I'm at home, I'm never cooking hot dogs. So give me something that I could do. It would be easy, or someone listening that would be easy if they want to do hot dogs and dress it up and do a gourmet style hot dog at home.
Yeah. So to me these days, the hot dog can take on a lot of different shapes and forms and flavors. You can go super gourmet with it. I mean, in Louisiana, we love sausage. We love all sorts of different smoked sausages. We can go find some really good Italian sausages and things like that around town. Like, you can step up your hot dog game. It doesn't have to be the old L7 weenie from the Sandlot.
You're not just using the weenie that's on the rotisserie thing at the gas station.
Now,
you can, like, this looks amazing.
If you get a nice gourmet one, these are actually, I believe at Burger Smith, they use the Nathan's 100% beef.
Okay.
Quarter-pound Franks. I mean, they're nice dogs, and you can do that too, right? You can go to the store, buy about as gourmet of a dog as they have there, and then you can dress it up. But really, there's so many other ways to do it, and I just think when we're playing the Bulldogs, when the Tigers are getting back at it, you want to fire up that grill in the backyard to do some home tailgating, hot dogs, sausages, all sorts of things like that. So we can eat the Bulldogs is a good way to go.
This is an explosion of flavor. I don't even know which one I want to try.
Decisions.
They actually look so good. It's like a piece of art. Like all the colors and the layout. It's magnificent. Like I kind of don't even want to eat them.
It's a good spread.
It's an amazing looking. Wait, so we always talk about booze as well with the bites.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have.
So I need some Sazerac in here.
This is not open, but there is an open bottle upstairs. We can make that happen for you. But I'm sure you have plenty in your studio also.
I can find it.
But what is this? Is this a beer? Is this a cocktail? Like what are we drinking when you're eating a gourmet hot dog?
Yeah, great question. Certainly I go beer. You know, that's my first inkling is to just go just beer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean it's the first game. Might still be a little hot outside. You just want a beer. Tin Roof just released just a lager, a basic lager. They even are calling it basic because it really is just meant to be a beer like that. Paradise Park from Urban South in New Orleans, a great beer that's like just a beer.
Yeah.
Southern Draw from Great Raft up in Shreveport, another great one.
What's the one that Tin Roof released that has the purple and gold can they licensed through LSU?
Yeah,
Did they call it Tiger Brew?
It's the Bandit. Well, that was the Bandit Blonde. The Bengal.
The Bengal.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. You nailed it. That was really good too.
Yep.
So Tin Roof has some good stuff.
As well.
So you can get the purple and gold themed stuff if you want to go with that on the game day as well. What is game day going to be like for you? Now, I mean, no,
yeah,
you're not going to be tailgating.
So interestingly enough, another one of our sister stations, Eagle 98.1, that carries the game and everything.
Right.
I'll be live on Eagle from the Oasis Bar and Grill on Burbank from 10 a.m. to noon.
Oh, cool.
And then probably just hanging around there and really tailgating and watching the game there. It's kind of like find somewhere else to go.
I know, man.
I'm not going to the stadium for this first one, at least. I don't have any tickets lined up.
It's so strange because people are going to have to find things to do and like what you can do that's sort of community. Like, for example, Point Marie, a subdivision in Baton Rouge and Nicholson, they're doing a really cool thing and it's open to anybody who wants to go, but it's going to be like an outdoor, socially distanced game watch, but they're going to have vendors there as well, like food trucks and stuff, so you can go and get food, be with your family, be with other Tiger fans, but be outdoors and be distanced. Like so if you're interested in that, just go to the Point Marie website. You can get more information on that. But like that's a cool thing people are doing. I was talking to Steve Levy over at Pluckers today, and they're probably going to have their parking lot closed off so that way people can. Like they can't serve outside, but you come inside, drink, and then maybe go outside and distance if you want and kind of have right sort of in the shadows of the stadium. Everybody's trying to get creative, man, and I respect it. There's such a celebration around football, and people are trying to figure out what to do, and I think we're all just trying to make the most of all this.
Yeah, and I think as fans, the game experience can be so great, even just watching it at your house, but like we're desperately craving getting back out there and being social, and even if that is at a restaurant or a bar type setting, being socially distanced, or at a block party type thing, so we almost feel like we're tailgating even though we're not. I certainly want to encourage everybody to stay safe while they're doing that.
Absolutely.
But get out there and even if stay distanced, wear a mask when you're around a bunch of people, but get out there and have some fun.
There are ways to do it and enjoy game day. All right, I got 30 seconds. What happens in the game?
Oh, Tigers 38-21.
Oh, wow. Did you listen to my Locked On LSU podcast?
I did not.
Wow.
Did I match you?
You were 1 point off of my prediction. Well, I guess everyone is going to have to wait until the 5 o'clock hour to hear mine, but you tap danced right around it, brother.
All right, so we're on the same page here.
Jay Ducote, of course, Bite and Booze, the Jay Ducote Show, which is on Talk 107.3, 4 to 6, so you're on in 4.5 minutes. So I'm going to let you go so you're not late for your show, and make sure you check out that. Shout out to Burger Smith and the good people who provided us our snack here. And if you're looking for something to do for the game tomorrow, Burger Smith, great option there.
Much appreciated, Matt.
Thank you. Jay Ducote's with us each Friday here for the Bite and Booze Tailgate segment. Theriot in studio. Next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. If you go out in the parking lot right here, the Guarantee Building, spots, 17 or 18. There's a black Volkswagen Atlas. It's mine. If you go into the parking lot at my wife's work, you will see a sort of pewter-colored Atlas. That's Erica's. We are a Volkswagen family, and we buy from South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, or online at southpointvw.com. You can shop them online and then go test drive and buy. Our state's largest volume Volkswagen dealer is South Point Volkswagen. They sell more volume, which means they can give you a better deal at South Point Volkswagen. Again, airline just north of Highland, or online at southpointvw.com. southpointvw.com. New or certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online, South Point Volkswagen. southpointvw.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Craving garden color? Clegg's Nursery is bursting with color, grown fresh in our greenhouses. Colorful bedding plants, incredible edibles, flowering shrubs, and beautiful trees.
Our business is knowing, the business of growing. Yard and garden questions are answered here.
Clegg's is a must-do family tradition. Just plant something. It's good for mind, body, and soul. Clegg's Nursery, serving Baton Rouge and Denham Springs. CleggsNursery.com.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a RAV4 for $3,000 off MSRP. That's right, $3,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Callahan Injury Lawyer.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. If the Celtics hope to stay in their series against the Heat, they'll have to cut down on turnovers. Boston is averaging 16 a game, Miami only 11. Game 5 tonight, the Heat trying to wrap it up. Coverage at 8 Eastern here on ESPN Radio, with the game also on ESPN TV. The Jets will be without their top 3 receivers Sunday against the Colts. Jamison Crowder will miss his second game in a row with a sore hamstring. The biggest game of the weekend, Monday night, Chiefs at Ravens. Both teams 2-0. ESPN's Doug Kazarian.
The fact that the Chiefs are getting 3.5, I bet you that smart money is going to be on the Chiefs, but other people I respect want no part of the Chiefs because of their defense, and the Ravens do it on both sides of the ball. Common opponent was Houston. I think the Ravens cover in a shootout.
Doug Kazarian on the Max Kellerman Show. This just in, the Mid-American Conference will play a 6-game football schedule starting November 4th. Every FBS conference now has plans for football this season. Stanley Cup final tonight, Game 4 with the Lightning leading 2-1.
Brought to you by Cooper Tires. Go with great tires that do what tires should do and cost what tires should cost. Go with the Coopers.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right. Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You pitch a better reload. Get the point.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans.
This is legit, dude. Check me out. I got camo paint on my face.
Ryan Theriot hitless in 4 at-bats.
When it's 20 degrees, Matt, and you're sitting in a deer stand, it's freezing cold.
Okay,
you need a beanie on your head.
Our weekly visit with Ryan Theriot is brought to you by Bowie Outfitters. Bowie Outfitters, your home for everything outdoors.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
The Brain.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
We're glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Football Friday.
Let's go. Let's go.
Woo, woo, woo. 1 hour from right now, guest picker, right?
That's right.
Do you know how many people have asked me, hey, does Theriot have a guest picker?
Theriot got a guest picker?
I'm like, yeah.
Think so?
I mean,
why wouldn't he?
Then again, heard that a lot last year, too.
Yep.
And sometimes it worked out really well.
Yep. Unfortunately,
Randy Moss.
I can't control who answers
Gary
the phone.
V. Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
And some good ones.
Good ones. Some guys.
And then you also had Trey Duncan pretending to be Corliss Williamson calling it.
Which was funny.
You had Gordy call in one time.
Mm-hmm.
So
celebrities. Gordy's a celeb. He's a guy.
No, he's not. So we'll find out an hour from now if you have a Mississippi State related guest picker.
I got a guy, but I texted him earlier. About an hour ago.
Okay.
And he hasn't responded yet.
Oh.
Yep.
A
little worried.
Yeah. You excited about the game tomorrow?
I'm making myself get excited.
Oh, how could you not be excited?
I mean, I'm excited, but it's not like I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I mean, I'll grant you that. All right, I'll grant you that normally on a Friday, like motorhome's already there, campus is buzzing a lot, and a lot of that is muted. I get that, but we're gonna have football tomorrow, man.
No, yeah, and it's exciting. We're gonna see the boys play and all that, but it's just I don't know, man. It almost feels like I don't know. There was so much that happened last year, leading up to each game, and you touched on a few of the things with the motorhomes and the tailgating and all that stuff. But like the hype video was there, and then you just had a lot of buzz and people talking about this and that. And, you pull up your phone on social media in the morning when you're dropping a deuce Friday, before the game, whatever, and it's all LSU, and
Still feels like that to me.
It doesn't on my timeline. There wasn't a whole lot there. I mean, there was a little bit, but
just wait till they tee it up and kick it off tomorrow, and then you get the butterflies, and you know that it's down. People blowing up cats on kickoff teams, and Miles Brennan spinning dimes, and Terrace Marshall boat racing people, and Derek Stingley pick sixing your mom and them. It's going to be awesome.
I'm excited.
You sound like a Debbie Downer.
No, I'm excited.
You sound like a Debbie Downer, and you better get your energy right, bro, because we got 2 hours of this. You realize we're the last word? We're the last word for people before they go into their football weekend.
We're the last word.
You can't be a poo-pooer. You can't be a Debbie Downer.
I was feeling this way last night, and I'm trying to get myself going. And then I thought about the opponent. I said, well, is it the opponent that's making me feel this way? Could it be that it's Mississippi State?
It's the Bullpups.
Yeah.
With their ugly maroon and their cowbells and their awful fight song. And the team that, hasn't beaten LSU in like 25 years or something. Maybe they did once or something. I don't really remember.
I think that was the reason, or that is the reason why I kind of feel the way that I feel. And I would love some help getting fired up.
Okay.
What you just said got me going a little bit.
Good.
It did.
It's like in in the movie Elf, when Santa crashes and they got to have Christmas spirit for the sleigh to fly.
Yep.
It's like I just started singing, "You better watch out."
You started
and the little Santa thing started getting up the sleigh. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You're giving me Christmas spirit right
Do you want me to start singing the LSU fight song?
Yes.
Bum 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 do it.
I'm getting it. I'm getting there.
You didn't do the last part.
I'm getting there.
By the way, I also just said Neck was the fight song.
That is the fight song.
Okay.
I tried to find that this morning on the way to school with the kids. I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
So I pinned a letter to our opponent's fans because I feel like they're the reason why this is affecting me the way it is, and I'd like to share it with you guys.
Please do. I would love to hear it.
Okay. Dear Mississippi State fans. Yeah. Your state ranks last in nearly every category in America. Your school colors are terrible, and your mascot licks his own butt.
He's a dog. He does do that, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
You guys have had one good football season in the last 20 years, and that was only because you paid all the players. You've consistently hired pretty good coaches, but their careers quickly take a turn for the worse because your school sucks, and no high school player in his right mind would ever want to go to school in Starkville. The stadium attendance limitations will hurt you the most, as your fans mostly live in single-wide trailers down an old dirt road and have no internet or cable service, and they won't be able to watch the games. I think it's their fault that I feel the way I feel. You guys hired Captain Jack Sparrow straight off the Black Pearl to lead your football team.
He does like pirates.
The guy sounds like a drunk every time there's a mic in his face. Never being able to stay on topic, and more times than not, he ends up talking about unicorns and rainbows during interviews. Y'all are excited about an offense that put up decent numbers in the Pac-12, but we all know no one plays defense on the West Coast. The truth is, he's never really had any success. Hell, the guy at the University of Southwestern Louisiana at Lafayette didn't even want that job.
That was a really nice Easter egg to tie them together.
You saw that?
I liked it a lot.
Your new defensive
What was the one, the silhouette, the one with the acronyms?
SWVLAT.
You just did SWV, like Sisters with Voices.
Yeah. Weak. Good song.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
So weak in the knees, I could hardly.
It's a good tune. Your new defensive coordinator from San Diego State sucks.
He was really good last year. They were number 2 in the country.
He actually went to college on a baseball scholarship at New Mexico State.
Okay. All right.
And you expect him to be worth a crap coaching defense.
Huh. Interesting.
Y'all are in for another long season with a lot of disappointment and heartache. You'll fire the coach in a year or two, and I'll repeat this exact same letter in the very near future. But hey, there's always baseball, and Ron Polk is back on staff. Sincerely, Ryan.
It is Ryan Theriot's letter to Mississippi State. This is After Further Review. Presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Are you coming tomorrow? Whiskey and wine after the game?
Got soccer. I'll be at soccer.
Okay. It's invite only because it's a bar, so it's not open to the public. So that stinks. But we're going to get there, right? I mean, eventually our governor is going to open up things and realize that coronavirus doesn't solely exist in bars, and that people can actually go to a bar just like they can go to a restaurant and other places. But nonetheless, and so I'll be very excited when we can welcome people. But tomorrow, as soon as the clock hits 0, me, Jordy, Whiskey and Wine from Don Juan Cigar Bar live on the 104.5 ESPN Facebook page and the Watch 104.5 YouTube channel. So if you're watching us on YouTube right now, it's exactly where you'll see Whiskey and Wine tomorrow, as soon as the game goes final. So
I'll watch.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like the Facebook page. Set your notifications. So we go live tomorrow. You get notified that we're live. So excited. I'm drinking some Sazerac tomorrow.
You're getting hammered tomorrow.
I'm drinking some Sazerac. I am smoking a cigar.
Oh, you're getting hammered
Might
drunk.
smoke too.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good.
Do it.
So good.
Turn up.
It's football. So good. I need some energy from you, by the way.
All right.
Got to bring it. All right, it's After Further Review. Quick break. Do Kick Rocks next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. You know what? I love getting text messages like this. So Adam Zarang from Insurance Network of Louisiana texted me yesterday.
Okay.
He said, hey, Matt, AFR listener named John. He and his wife been with Liberty Mutual since 2007. You know what I thought immediately?
What's that?
Big savings coming, because if you're with Liberty Mutual for 13 years, that's way too long, and they've jacked your rate a ton, and you're going to save a lot of money. So I saw that. I was like, oh, this is going to be good. So John and his wife had been with Liberty Mutual for way too long, because that's what Liberty Mutual does. Insurance Network of Louisiana increased their auto coverage, added an umbrella policy. So they raised their coverage by $1.2 million.
No.
$1.2 million in additional coverage.
Gave them $1 million.
Wrote their homeowners and saved
Get out of here.
$4,600.
No.
Y'all better call Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450.
$11,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations. Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a new Camry for $239 per month, or take 0% financing for 6 years. $239 per month or 0% for 6 years. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Down.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Bowie Outfitters.
Yeah, I think we're the best we've been. And I think that we got a couple guys with some nicks and bruises, but as right now, nobody's out as far as I know. We're ready to go.
Ed Ogeron meeting with the media after practice, saying this team's the healthiest they've been. What's interesting, a lot of people have suggested that with a sort of limited offseason that was going to increase the amount of injuries. What Ed's saying actually is that they're healthier than they've ever been because they've had a longer, sort of slower ramp up to the season, which is a really interesting thought that LSU, right? And LSU, you've been out there. They track this stuff as well as anybody in the world, like literally in the world. I mean, the technology that Jack Marucci has developed and licensed and all that, the hit sensors, the concussion protocols, like
GPS, tracking steps, whole thing.
Like when you watch practices, they have these belts like around their waists, like with the sensors. They're tracking steps, how much your heart rate, like how much you exerted yourself. Like they're so in tune to everything. Mm-hmm. It's really incredible. I mean, I believe him. There's no reason for him to lie. They have data. It's not just he's not guessing. Like they're literally healthier than they've ever been.
It's funny because the first week of the NFL season, you saw all those injuries, and then everybody speculates, well, was it because it was a weird offseason? The guys weren't able to train properly. Then they come in, and it was almost like a sprint to get prepared, and then no preseason, and then ACL and all these crazy injuries that are happening. Multiple ACLs happened, actually. They're looking into that. This is almost the exact opposite, where these guys have been on campus. There was a period where they weren't doing a whole lot. They were just there. Remember, they just wanted them there and to be around. So,
but they were working out like 3 days a week.
They were working out, but it wasn't the normal foot on the gas pedal, let's go type deal. That was that, like you said, that slow ramp up. I agree with you 100%. You know, you get these guys acclimated, especially in a season where you lose so much and you have a lot of new guys on campus that need that. I mean, they need to get used to what's getting ready to happen. And I think you thwart some of those injuries.
I did reference early, because after week 2 in the NFL, when there were really a bunch of devastating ACL injuries, Saquon Barkley, and you had Bosa in San Francisco. I mean, and Solomon Thomas. And there have been a bunch, and very notable players also, which is, I mean, it's terrible. But there was I referenced this in 2018. Football Outsiders did an examination of injuries in the NFL, and Bill Belichick had basically said, look, because we're practicing less, that's why we're having more injuries. And they showed how there's actually no correlation when you look at the data. And actually, if you go back to like the strike-shortened offseason in 2011, there was actually a big drop in the number of injuries that year. So I don't know. I think there is some randomness to it. Like Michael Thomas injuring his ankle, that had nothing to do with preparation. I mean, the guy's engaged in a block and he got rolled on. I mean, it sucks, but there's nothing to do with a limited offseason. You know what I mean? I just, but for whatever it's worth, as far as what Ed's talking about here, I'm just excited to hear him say that they are as healthy as they've been.
Yeah.
Because I think when you're talking about a 10-game grind, one of the things a year ago that really helped, I mean, I don't want to say saved LSU's season, but the way the schedule worked out, and I talked about this so much last year, they opened up against Georgia Southern, blew them out, then they played Texas. And if you remember in that game, there was a drive where Texas had like a 17 or 19 play drive. And on that drive, Rashard Lawrence went down, and Glenn Logan went down, and Tyler Shelvin, I think, went down on that drive. Like, they had Michael Divinity hurt his shoulder on that drive. They lost like 4 or 5 players on that drive. And what happened after that was LSU in the next month had Utah State, Northwestern State, Vanderbilt, and a bye. So they basically had 4 weeks to tell all those guys,
yeah, you guys chill out.
Like, just take 4 weeks off and be ready to roll against Florida in a month. And they did. I mean, they just told all those guys. Chasson got hurt in that game on that drive as well. And they basically told them guys, just chill.
Yeah.
They had the luxury, given that schedule, to do that. This year, you don't have that luxury in a 10-game SEC schedule. Now, LSU does have a 3-week ramp-up where there is no chance they're losing. Let me not say no chance. I've gotten in trouble before. Speaking in absolutes is never a good idea. It is exceedingly unlikely that LSU loses any of its first 3 games. They're a 3-touchdown favorite over Mississippi State. They're going to boat race Vanderbilt next week, and then they're home against Missouri, who's not any good. So you're going to win your first 3 games. So you do have a little bit of an entree into the season, but it's still conference games. Really, it's that 4th game against Florida where you got to be primed, ready to roll. And once that happens, you don't really get another breather. You don't really get that next letdown where you can just kind of just, if you need to rest guys, you can rest them.
And not only physically, but mentally, I think it's important this year when you have those 3 games like you're talking about, because what is it, 3 true freshmen are going to be starting? 3 or 4 true freshmen?
Well, saying? I mean, I think Ricks is going to be considered a starter. Eric Gilbert is, and then I would say Keyshawn Booty. They'll, whether he's on the field the first snap or not, they're considering him a starter too.
Yeah, and those guys need some time. I mean, they need some in-game, like real time to get used to it. That Texas game isn't breathing down your neck, the second game of the season.
Yeah.
So I think that's super important for those guys, not only physically but mentally.
One other thing, Ed Ogeron did update Neil Farrell, who we know had opted out. He opted back in. He had to go through an acclimation period before he could put on full pads. So how's that going?
Really good. I mean, really good. You can expect him to get some snaps. He's come back with a renewed attitude, has practiced phenomenal. Work hard all week. I think he's still getting in game shape. I don't think he can play a whole game yet, but I think he can give you 20 to 30 snaps if we need it.
I'll take 20 to 30 snaps from Neil Farrell. Absolutely in this ball game. Tell people about Bowie Outfitters.
Now's the time.
For what?
Teal season's going on right now at Bowie Outfitters. Go check them out. Decoys, all the shotguns, shells you need to get your teal season going.
How big is a teal?
Teal's not very big.
How many teal would I have to eat to be full?
Probably 5-ish,
okay.
I would say.
Would you put teal in a gumbo?
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, duck gumbo.
Would you just eat teal off the bone?
Barbecue it.
Yeah.
Grill it, yeah.
Okay.
But bow season opens next week, Thursday, October the 1st. Come by Bowie Outfitters, get all your last-minute needs, broadheads, arrows, cover scent attractants, corn, Rice Brand asks for Lee. He'll be sure that you do not leave empty-handed.
I never heard back from the Bayou Wild Outdoors people last week. Why do you think that is?
Because we made fun of his last name.
Who?
Lecoq.
Mm-hmm. You had to do it.
Lecoq.
You had to do it.
I mean, I get it. It makes sense.
For those that weren't here.
But here's the deal.
The producer of the Bayou Wild Outdoor Show invited Ryan and I to be on their show, sort of as a fun thing, because Terry is an outdoorsman. I clearly am not. And I posed this question to Ryan last week on the air if we should do it. And the producer's last name is Lecoq, Lecoq. And you stopped and went, Lecoq.
Lecoq.
It's like the first thing, like you so pronounced, Lecoq. Mm-hmm. And so, not surprisingly, I've not heard back
As
from
if
the Bayou
he
Wild.
hasn't been made fun of before. Like,
so
that was, I mean, come on, dude, grow up.
Can kick rocks.
It's now time to kick rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick rock.
Presented by Roto-Rooter Plumbing.
NBA can kick rocks because they're so dang sensitive.
What are you looking at? Kick rocks.
As a matter of fact, the NFL can kick rocks too.
We've got rocks. You know what to do.
In that case, then Matt's going to have to kick rocks.
Now let's see if Ryan Theriot actually prepared for this week's segment.
I'm going to tell myself to kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
You think Lecoq? You think Lecoq's got some panties in a wad?
You know what? You can kick rocks for that. Never even met this guy, and now there's no chance I'll ever be on Bayou Wild TV. I may not want to be, but you know what? That would really help expose me to a whole new potential audience that isn't aware of this show, and now I'm not going to get to be on Bayou Wild TV because you made fun of Lecoq. My little nephew, Eli, he and his daddy, they go hunting and fishing, and he'd probably like to see Uncle Matt on Bayou Wild TV. And you know what? Now it's not going to happen because you keep making fun of Lecoq.
Lecoq's beat red mad right now. I mean, he is steaming right now. Big mad. Chargers quarterback Tyrod Taylor.
I can always just, when I'm looking at Brain, his computer monitor is like this.
Yeah.
So all I see are his eyes through his glasses. And when you said Lecoq is beat red, I saw his eyes go.
He loved it. Brain knows what I'm talking about. Anniversary last weekend.
Lecoq is spitting mad.
Spitting all over the place right now.
We are not going to be.
You're getting fired.
We're not going to be not in trouble. I hate you. I hate you.
Gordy's listening to us. I saw him leaving when I came up.
Man. I'm going to get a call tonight at about 7:15. You can say Gordy on my caller ID. Matt, listen. The Lecoq stuff. It's got to stop. It's got to stop.
It's got to stop. The Sullivan stuff, too. We can't talk about Jerry Sullivan anymore.
All right. Okay, G. Woo. Monday, my office. Theriot, we got to talk about another suspension. All right.
You think Jerry Sullivan's seen Lecoq or no? It's been a while, probably. It's probably been a while, hasn't it? Hey,
I knew it.
Chargers quarterback Tyrod Taylor. Pre-game, like right before the game last week, having chest pains. Took him out. It was kind of a scary situation. The kid from Oregon came in. Actually did a good
Justin
job.
Herbert. Yeah, he sure did.
Threw for 3 bills, but they didn't really know what was going on with Tyrod. Kind of a scary deal. He took him to the hospital. Observations came back, or tests came back pretty good, negative, and they finally figured out midweek what happened. So he had a cracked rib, which happens in football.
Yeah.
The team doctor gave him a shot, a painkiller shot, so he could go play the game, which again happens. But the team doctor for the Chargers went in a little bit too deep. It wasn't Lecoq. And he actually punctured Tyrod's lung. The team doctor punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung with a pain-relieving shot pre-game. The guy's got a punctured lung. Now you can't play football. The team doctor for the San Diego Chargers,
the Los Angeles
Chargers can kick rocks.
Kick rock.
Okay, I'm not going to go into detail on this one. you guys can do that. All you got to do is go to Twitter or Google or whatever. But ESPN announcer, longtime ESPN announcer, since the 90s, Mark Jones, actually does a pretty good job calling a game. Went on a rant on his Twitter. Had some stuff to do with the police, who have been protecting him, by the way, for the last 30 years when he goes to and from games. Mark Jones, because of your social media rant, you can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
And then last, we talked about this earlier, Matt.
Okay.
LSU has lost a ton from last year's team. You can start with the players. Joe Burrow, maybe the greatest football player in LSU history. You lose a first-round running back. You lose
four offensive linemen.
Maybe
two first-round pick wide receivers.
Top 3 wide receiver in LSU history.
Tight end.
Okay, the whole thing. Then you lose
4 linebackers.
Your offensive coordinator. Genius.
Well, no, not your offensive coordinator. Your passing game coordinator.
Passing game coordinator. That brought in a new wrinkle, right?
A wrinkle.
Did great. Genius. And you also lose your defensive coordinator. The whole thing has been turned upside down.
Yeah.
But the biggest loss, Matt, none of the people we just talked about. It's my man, Will Stout. My man, Will Stout. I think it's the biggest loss.
Where did Will Stout go to school?
He went to Catholic High. I miss Will Stout today. I watched the LSU hype video, although here's what I'm going to say this. I loved the message, okay?
Are you ready?
We're getting introduced to Brennan.
Yeah.
We're getting introduced to,
Chris Curry was on there. Damone Clark. Yep.
We're getting introduced to these guys. I get the premise of the whole thing. I thought it was put together pretty good. But give me some Jay-Z in that one. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is... That's what Will would have done. There would have been some head bobbing. Never in a thing did my head bob. I need Boosie going, my name is I need some goosebumps. I need Shaq. Give me Captain America.
No, not him. Not him.
Not Captain America.
I'm going to fight that guy in the bowels of the
that guy.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta.
Yep.
That guy. What's his name again?
Captain America.
Yeah, whatever. The guy from New Orleans.
Give me John Goodman.
Give me the Spider-Man. What does he do again?
The Ant-Man, I think.
Yeah,
was he Ant-Man?
I don't know what he was.
Brain, you
T-Bob knew because T-Bob's a giant nerd.
Love that guy.
Comic books and all that stuff.
He might have been on Lord of the Rings.
No, he wasn't. He's a comic guy. Whatever his name is.
All right, so that's
Not
all
impressed.
I got. That's all I got today.
All right. So after further review, glad to have you aboard with us here. We'll go over the Saints injury report. Waiting on the Saints injury report to be released today. Very curious to see, and it is out, so we will get to that when we come back. We'll give you an update on who looks like they're in or out for Sunday Night Football against the Packers. Also, Ask Ryan coming up in about 15 minutes from right now. Our guest picker in 28 minutes. Any update on the guest picker?
Nope. Ugh. But he's not really a texter. He's a little bit older.
I'm not excited about this. I don't know, man.
There's been 3 texts I've sent to him, and I haven't gotten a response back.
All right. All right, it's after further review. Hopefully, guest picker in 27 minutes. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers. Nicholson Bluebonnet. Dine in, carry out. 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings. Ice cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. Where did you have lunch today?
Pluckers.
Where did I have lunch today?
Pluckers.
Who did we eat with?
King of Wings.
The King of the Wing. Stevie Levy, the King of the Wing. You know what happened today after we left? Stevie Levy, the King of the Wing, did it again. The sign at Pluckers right now. Welcome home, Corey Foreman and Mason Smith. D-line U, go Tigers. Number 1 player in the country, Corey Foreman, back in Baton Rouge this weekend for the game. Mason Smith, number 1 defensive tackle in the country, back in Baton Rouge for the game this weekend. King of the Wing, 1 mile south of Tiger Stadium, welcoming them in style. I tweeted out the picture of the sign. Y'all go retweet it. Let's give these dudes some major love as they come into Baton Rouge for game day mañana. Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine in, carry out. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
$11,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Bowie Outfitters.
Yeah, just tempo, playing with energy, making sure we understand the coverage we're in, understand the defense we're in, and it's going to take a great team effort. It's not just one individual, and so you start with some of those things.
Sean Payton talking about the challenge defending Aaron Rodgers, a Green Bay Packers offense that in its first two games of the season has cracked the 40-point barrier in each of the first two games, wins against Minnesota and Detroit. Now, it is fair to point out that Green Bay's challenge is going to ratchet up significantly this week. Minnesota and Detroit are not what defensively the Saints are, despite how they might have looked at times on Monday Night Football. It is a short week, though, for New Orleans, having been on the road on Monday Night Football, now short week at home against the Packers. The Saints injury report is out. To update it, we are looking, obviously, at Marcus Davenport. He was limited Thursday, limited again Friday, and he is officially listed as questionable for the game on Sunday night. Michael Thomas and Chase Hansen are out. Trey Hendrickson, again questionable today, limited today, so he also is questionable. Ty Montgomery and David Onyemata also questionable for the game. Onyemata would be really significant considering the amount of snaps and impact he could have on the defensive line. And if you're New Orleans, you really have to pressure Aaron Rodgers this weekend. That goes without saying. I mean, it's the way that you disrupt that offense is you get to and move Aaron Rodgers off his spot and you make him uncomfortable. And I'm looking at Davenport, Hendrickson, Onyemata, all on the injury report this week, along with Malcolm Brown, who is going to play. He's limited. He was limited on today. Didn't practice Wednesday, Thursday. Limited today, but he's listed as in for the game on Sunday. So that's certainly something to keep an eye on. On the other side, Devontae Adams. We're keeping an eye on Devontae Adams and Kenny Clark for the game on Sunday night. Adams again did not participate today. He is officially listed as doubtful for the game on Sunday. Now, it feels like we saw this week 1 because we saw this a bit with Mike Evans from Tampa Bay. He had the hamstring injury. He didn't practice all week. He went and played the whole game. So I don't know if this is gamesmanship, but Green Bay is listing Devontae Adams as questionable, or doubtful rather. Doubtful. If he's out, that's massively significant. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't have his best weapon on the field, the two best wide receivers in the game, Michael Thomas and Devontae Adams, won't be playing. So, that's clearly critical for both offenses. And then Kenny Clark, the big defensive lineman from Green Bay, he did not practice Wednesday, but has been limited the past 2 days. He is officially listed as questionable. So, man, that would be massive for a Saints offense. It's trying to get a running game going if Kenny Clark isn't there. And clearly for the Saints defense, it's trying to affect and limit Aaron Rodgers if Devontae Adams isn't on the field. So, remains to be seen. But if the Saints can get Davenport, Hendrickson, Onyemata all on the field, and if Devontae Adams isn't there for the Packers, that is a big, 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 big win for New Orleans. Yes, Ryan.
I got an idea.
Yes, Riney.
Here's what
the Riot, Mr. The Riot.
I'm going to call Bo.
Call Bo.
Yep. Because those guys.
Bo Lowry.
Yeah, those guys.
Saints trainer.
They need to go see your massage guy or gal. Yeah. Because I saw something happen today that I haven't seen you do, maybe ever.
Yeah.
You touched your toes without grimacing in pain.
I know.
They need to go see your massage girl. What's her name?
How much time do I have? Okay. So, Crystal Poche is her name. She got a place called Restored Motions. And what Ryan is referring to, I've had back pain for a lot of years, since I was like 14. And it's intense. And yesterday, here's how I would put it. And I told you this at lunch today. And you could tell I'm a little fired up. But yesterday, that was an experience, and I felt things unlike I've ever felt. Most people think
from a massage.
Well, most people think of a massage, and they think like, this is not a paid endorsement, by the way. Most people think of a massage, and you think lights off, candles, massage oils, whatever, get in the muscle.
Yep.
She does not get into your muscles, and the weird, like it was so different, but. She even said, we're going to spend the first 30 minutes. I'm going to explain to you what I do. Like, she has textbooks out, like, showing me how, like, what she's going, like, what the parts of the body she's working. But she basically works your ligaments and your bands, B-A-N-D-S, in your body that wrap throughout. The way that I can describe it, and by the way, it's like, your clothes, I mean, I was in athletic wear. I mean, we were, like, working things out. She would, like, find a pressure point, stick on it, and then she would know what that was connected to that was causing the issue. And then it was amazing to feel it unravel. Like, I think the best analogy I can give is, like tetherball, the ball that's like wrapped around a pole.
I love
like,
that game.
If it's all the way wrapped around tight, like think of that as like your muscles. Like the way I would describe it is like my lower back was always like if someone was squeezing the hell out of my lower back. And my hip flexors as well in the front. I could never fully stand up straight, and I stretch all the time. And she's like, well, it's not because of that. It's because you have an issue here, which is radiating there, and you're overcompensating here, and so it's all connected. So she'd find the point and then have me move to work it. And it was like the tetherball unraveling. Like I could feel that happening in my body. It was so wild, bro. And I'm going to tell you, every day, and you know what? I don't mind saying this right now. Because what's going to happen is someone's going to hear this, say, hey, Matt, what's that, the people? It's going to help somebody. Like, I've done everything. I've gone to chiropractors. I've had injections. I've had painkillers. I've had muscle relaxers. I've done traditional massage. I've tried everything. This session, like every day when I wake up in the morning, I'm in so much pain I can't stand up straight. Like, and it sucks. It's a crappy way to live. And I have to go get my son's feeding pump. It's plugged in on the floor by the bed. And the way I do it is I like walk down my leg, I rest my elbows on my knees, unplug it, and then walk back up my leg. That's how I stand up in the morning. I'm 38. Like, that's not typical. But this morning, I mean, straight, look, if you're watching, come on, I'll show you. I mean, I would normally have to like crawl down my leg.
Yep.
It's just this.
Just straight down to
touch
it.
The floor. I can touch the floor all the way.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Dude, I haven't been able to do what I just did, pain-free, in years. One session. It was the most incredible. I'm telling you, man. Like,
all right, what's her name?
No. And the thing is, like,
I gotta go.
I know it sounds like, it probably sounds hokey to some people. I get it. But I'm telling you, man, it was the most like feeling your body. Like I could feel my body unravel. Like I could feel.
Did it hurt when she was doing it?
I mean, it wasn't like pain, but like she would find a pressure point, right? So she'd find a pressure point, and the wildest thing is like, it would feel like she was pinching the hell out of me in that spot. But then as it unraveled, like, it just felt like she was barely touching me. She's like, I have not changed my pressure at all the whole time. It's like, that's your body unwinding to this point. I'm telling you, man, her name's Crystal Poche, restored motions. She's on Suma. She got like a little sweet setback from the road on Suma. Between
not after this read.
Between S and it's not a read. I'm telling you
not
what I
after
did.
This testimonial.
I'm telling you what I did yesterday.
I'm going.
You know who told me about her was Toby Tomplay, the guy Toby who does the AFR intro. He's like,
is that why he sings so good?
I don't know, but he told me. I told him, my back always hurts. Like, dude, you got to go see Crystal. So he connected us via text. I went yesterday. I'm telling you, if you got pain, go see. I'm telling you, go see her. Just trust me. And look, and she like woo, like she does that stuff to her. I mean,
she's getting fired up.
It's so different. Like, you don't think of it like you're going to get a massage where they're going to do massage oil and hot stones. That is not what this is. It's
not a feel good, like,
no.
just relax type thing. Yeah. This is get right.
Bro, I got right yesterday. I ate up a whole segment talking about that now.
It's important to you, man. It's your show,
well,
too. You can do what you want.
Well, we were talking about the injury report, so that was actually a good segue for you to do it. But I'm telling you, it was crazy good. Like, I don't know how more people don't know that. Like,
is it ART, active release? Did she say that at all? I don't know.
No. Anyway,
she's got magic fingers.
Whatever. All I know is
Crystal Magic Fingers Poche.
All I know is yesterday morning when I woke up, I couldn't bend over and touch my toes. Today, I can bend over, touch my toes. I got mobility in my neck. I couldn't do this forever, man. My neck, it's incredible.
Whole deal.
Anyway, I'm fired up. I feel like anyone who lives with pain, like, you get how crappy it is to live with pain. Like, I feel really good right now. I haven't felt this good in a long, 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 long time. So, anyway, call Crystal Poche. Restored Motions.
Crystal Magic Fingers Poche.
You can call her whatever you want. But I'm going back on Tuesday. I'm like, look, she's like, you want to do another session? We'll go deep. I'm like, there's more? Hell yeah, let's roll.
Yeah.
No, I'm going Wednesday. Going back on Wednesday. All right, it's after further review. We're going to do Ask Ryan to wrap up the hour next. Guest picker in 13 minutes. Any word from the guest picker?
Mm-mm. I mean, my last text wasn't like, hey, text me back. So right now I'm just...
Okay. All right, guest picker in 13 minutes. We'll give you a Saints-Packers preview and pick next hour as well. We'll give you an LSU-Mississippi State preview and pick. Brain a lot of Tigers in the pros. We'll have Otter Locks. We got a ton to do. Football Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Stick around.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. Read the reviews. Go to Google. Read the reviews from River City's 1 Hour Air. You'll see how many of your friends and neighbors rave about River City's 1 Hour Air because they take the time to do it right. And the other thing that I can tell you, I told you I had this experience earlier in the week. I had a friend who called River City's 1 Hour Air, and they had a miscommunication, and my friend was not happy. The thing that I'll tell you, and they did resolve it, and Matt Rick told me, the GM there, told me this years ago. He's like, if we ever get a complaint, ever, it will be resolved within 24 hours. Like, we take that very seriously. We want happy customers. And they did. They were on it like that same morning earlier this week. River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001. Mention the Moscona special. They'll save you $25 off any system repair. It's River City's 1 hour air. 752-0001.
This is a house call. This is a test result. This is a prescription refill. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare. Start your virtual visit today at Ochsner Health.
$11,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Celebrate life and indulge yourself at the new Ichiban and Gonzalez. Award-winning sushi. World-class hibachi. Freshest seafood. Experience Ichiban and Gonzalez and Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
Failure happens to us all, but it's how champions evolve. The only thing that
After
matters.
further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Bowie Outfitters.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2, brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar, Town Center in Baton Rouge. Soon as game goes final tomorrow, Jordy, Colada, me, we are at Don Juan Cigar Bar live for Whiskey and Wine on the 104.5 ESPN Facebook and YouTube chat. All right, let's get to Ask Ryan real quick. Bowie Outfitters.
Bow season starting this Thursday. This coming up Thursday, get to Bowie Outfitters. All your last-minute bow needs, broadheads, scent, attractants, whatever it is, go check them out at Bowie Outfitters. Ask for my man Lee.
Let's get to Ask Ryan. Email Matt at 1045ESPN.com. Tweet me at Matt Moscona at 1045ESPN. Or jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Lots of ways you can get your questions in for Theriot. I'm not reading that one. Not doing it. Ask Ryan, how much does a shrimp bleed?
What?
How much does a shrimp bleed?
I don't get it.
I don't know who that is, but they're referencing my morning Facebook show, Morning Scone, that's a question. We do Ask E-Rock on it. My wife comes on and they ask her questions, and she doesn't know anything about stuff like that. So she's like, does shrimp bleed? She didn't know. Ask Ryan, Sonic the Hedgehog or Mario? That's Brian Penn. What's up, Brian Penn?
Man, that's a tough one. Those two really good games. If you're just talking like one game, I'm going to say Sonic, but Mario just had a lot of staying power with multiple games.
James Fortenberry, who wins the World Series?
Los Dodgers.
Todd Jones asked Ryan, ever hunted or fished in Alaska?
No, I would love to, though.
Bobby Boucher asked Ryan, what's on the front of your hat?
Front of my hat? This is my
Snaps.
man.
Oh, you had it backwards.
Yeah, this is Just Built Strong, JBS, my man Blake Sagan. Prepare, provide, pursue. I wear it like this.
K Real asked Ryan, where can I duck hunt around the Chicago area?
I don't know. Give Lake Michigan a shot.
Ask Ryan. Avo asked Ryan, 1 to 10, how ready are you for archery season?
10.
Gray Poo asked Ryan, what's it like to be the last one to know when it's raining?
It's not funny.
Ask Ryan, what's the best part of working attraction?
Get to help kids. I really enjoy doing that. It's fun.
Norm Peniston. His name is Peniston.
Norm?
Oh, I get it. Norm Peniston. Norm Peniston the third. Ask Ryan, NBA finalists. Hour 3, guest picker next.
AFR.
Brought to you by
Shabills!
ShawBillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Remember, if you are looking for work, maybe you lost your job during the pandemic. Well, the great news is ShawBills is still busy because people still need auto service and tires even amid a pandemic. And so ShawBills has continued to be busy, and they continue to expand. Another location coming at the end of 2020 and another one coming at the beginning of 2021 in the greater Baton Rouge area. So if you're looking for work, all positions, managers, storefront, mechanics, they're looking for you at ShawBills. Apply online or in person. They've got paid holidays, employee discount, health insurance with employer participation, dental, vision, supplemental insurance, paid time off. It's ShawBills. They treat you like family. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBills, where we keep you rolling.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a Tundra for $7,000 off MSRP. That's right, $7,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. With a win tonight, the Heat will become the lowest seeded team to reach the NBA Finals since the Knicks in 1999. Miami is the 5 seed, and Game 5 of the East Finals tips tonight. ESPN's Paul Pierce, what's your pregame speech for the Celtics?
I'll tell them, we're the better team. You know, we lost to some big performances. We turned it over. We haven't played our best, but we're the better team, and we need to go out there and show it just tonight. That's it.
Paul Pierce on Key J and Z. Coverage of Game 5 starts at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN, 8 Eastern here on ESPN Radio. Falcons wideout Julio Jones will be a game-time decision against the Bears. Jones is recovering from a sore hamstring. Patriots center David Andrews is out for Sunday's game against the Raiders after surgery on his right thumb. Running back James White out for personal reasons after his father was killed in a car accident. The Washington Nationals won't be going to the playoffs, but manager Dave Martinez will get a 3-year contract extension. This is his 3rd season on the job. The Nats won the title last year.
Coming up Monday, we react to a sports weekend that has everything to offer. Week 3 in the NFL, the final weekend of the baseball regular season, and getting closer to crowning an NBA champion. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
You can't handle the Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again. Guess who's back?
Please, sir. I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour is presented by Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Let me find out your stomach bigger than your butt. Let me find out them booty pads underneath.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The Brain.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
And Theriot. We're here. Glad you are as well. Football Friday edition of AFR. We appreciate you for being here with us. If you missed Phil Steele in hour 1, Jay Ducote with our Football Friday tailgate segment. Theriot handled Kick Rocks last hour. We will get you Saints, Packers, LSU, Mississippi State full preview and prediction coming up very shortly. But as is customary here on a Football Friday edition of AFR, we have and we invite a celebrity guest picker to go head-to-head with us on picking games straight up, no spread.
No spread.
We've been very fortunate here, and you've done well at times here. I mean, Shaq, Charles Barkley, Randy Moss, Gary Vaynerchuk. We've had Hall of Famers, Heisman Trophy winners, Evander Holyfield. How about if we dip into the world of baseball for today's guest picker? He was the manager of the Yankees, the Diamondbacks, the Rangers, the Orioles. He won more than 3,000 games as a Major League Baseball manager, and he happened to play baseball in Stark Vegas back in the 1970s. How about that? Let's welcome aboard today's guest picker, Buck Showalter. Skip, great to have you. Thanks for the time. How are you?
What's up, man? I'm glad you're playing the fight song.
Well,
proper respect.
At least you're going to hear it now, because I don't think you're going to hear it much tomorrow. Well, I guess not at all, because the band's probably not even going to be there, right?
You guys aren't going there, are you? You really want to do that with me?
I mean, I kind of do, actually.
I mean, you know, you actually beat Alabama one time in the last 15 years, and you think you got it figured out.
Well,
I hope you kept your offensive coordinator, and I hope you kept the quarterback.
We did keep the offensive coordinator. It was the passing game coordinator who left, and you guys have only beat LSU once in like the last 25 years, so I think it's going to go well for them.
That's why I'm not crowing. You are.
That's very true. That's very true. But hey, man, LSU had a hell of a run last year, man. There's a lot of people here sticking out their chests. I think rightfully so after the way it went last year for LSU. Yeah. Do you get a chance? And so you're doing work right now with the Yes Network. Admittedly, huge Yankee fan, so I'm pumped to see what they can do in the postseason. Are you down in the playoff bubble right now?
Not yet. I'm going to do the National League playoffs for MLB TV in Houston, and I'm going to do the World Series from Arlington because I live here in Dallas, and then I'm going to do some of the Yankee games leading up to that. So it should be a fun October for me.
What was it like being at State in the 70s?
Oh, it was great. You know, we had it was just the end of Emory Ballard. It was Jackie Sherrill. It was you know, some people. It was a really they played a really good brand of football. They were very competitive. You know, I still enjoy watching a good wishbone team, but you got to go to tape in order to watch it anymore. Or maybe watch Navy or Army, but you know, the discipline required. It was fun though. You know, start was a lot different than it was then. You know, it was a dry county back then. That should say enough right then, right there.
That's changed.
Buck, the my man works for the Orioles forever. Actually, still works for the Orioles. Ben McDonald. Did you guys get to spend much time together when he was calling the games?
Yeah, Ben is doing a lot more of them now, and he does a great job. I'm excited for Ben. He's got a real passion for the game, very knowledgeable, and you know, a lot of guys that had success that Ben's had. It was sad that he was hurt a lot of his professional career, but let's put it this way: he was as good a person as he was a pitcher, and that's saying a lot.
Buck Showalter, our celebrity guest picker. We're going to get to the games here in just a quick second. Have you legendary coaches, of course, in the Southeastern Conference, Ron Polk, Skip Bertman. Are you familiar at all with those two, their rivalry, how that's gone? I mean, I know you predated Ron Polk there in the 70s, but are you familiar at all with any of that?
Of course. No, actually, I didn't predate him. I was Ron Polk's first recruiting class.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, and, you know, he got in a lot of grief because he went and signed a bunch of junior college players, which I was one of them, brought in like 8 or 9 from Florida, and a lot of people – he took a lot of grief but he told them that he was going to make the high school programs better, work with the coaches, and at some point in his tenure there, he'd be able to recruit in the state of Mississippi. And he did, but that first year – with the way he did business and the way our team played, you know, was very instrumental. And there was a great rivalry going on with LSU that developed very quickly. Two good programs.
When did the playbook get written? Are you familiar with Ron's playbook that he has?
What do you think? Yeah, no, it was. You hated to see that rain out because you know what you were going to be doing if you got practice rained out. But he, yeah, I think he had like 80 or 90% of the baseball series classes around colleges. I doubt there's still a class like that, but I know I took that class. But, you know, that was the textbook for it. And he left no stone unturned. He touched a lot of people's lives with that book. And, you know, he did all the publishing, he didn't have any outliers. It was all ran right out of his house. And I'm sure he pocketed too, you know?
Oh, yeah. And the book is still available. It looks the same. My dad actually taught me tons about baseball from that book. He went and bought it. I went to all of Ron Polk's camps at Mississippi State as a child. He actually came down to Baton Rouge last year and spoke at my son's high school first pitch banquet. And of course, Buck, he had a minivan full of those books.
Oh yeah,
and it was great. He said he was doing it for free for the kids, but however, we have some books for sale afterward.
Yeah, I spoke for Bobby Dickerson, Ryan. You know him over in Thibodaux. I think it was last year, and I had more people come up and talk about Coach Polk and his book and the impact he's had on them.
Yep.
Buck Showalter is our guest. One of the things about doing the guest picker, I regret it's like we have to get into the picks, but I feel like I could ask a million questions. Well,
I gotta tell you, right now in today's world, I love these people who go, they're busy. Nobody's that busy, okay? We got plenty of time.
Well, Buck, if you got time, I mean, we could riff a little bit. We can do the picks in the next segment if you're down for it.
I want to know about the Yankees.
I actually really want your opinion on the Yankees as well. I'm a little ticked about, the offense kind of got back on track, and it was a little embarrassing there at the end against the Blue Jays, the 14-1 result. But, we going to go make a run? What's up?
Well, Ryan, it's all going to be about the pitching and their bullpen and getting that ready. I don't think there's much of home field advantage now as there normally is with no fans there. They're going to probably let some people in. There's some plans for the playoffs down the road. But, the Yankees are going to be a force. If they get all their people back on the field healthy, but in the 3-game series, they're going to run out some good pitchers, but just about everybody is. I just hope – I'm not a big believer the team under 500 should qualify for the playoffs. This is not one of those participation trophy leagues, where they give one out to every kid and he just shows up. And, the Yankees have earned it. It's a weird season, but everybody's trying to play the same number of games, so we're all facing the same challenges. I like their chances, but you can make the case for a lot of clubs this time of year. There's so much unknown this year because this is such uncharted territory. Believe me, we played a game in Baltimore with no fans when we had the riots there, and it's a challenge. And the players don't talk about it a lot, but you really feed off the emotion of those fans when you go day game, night game, back and forth, and you need to come out of that tunnel and see all those fans there. And it's tough. Ryan, as well as anybody. Hey, don't let Ryan kid you now. Ryan was a good player. He knew how to play the game.
He reminds us often.
Oh, trust me. I tell him every Friday.
No, he could play a lot of places. He was a winning player and the type of guy, that he was a good teammate and he's the type of guy that people wanted on their club. And the guys like that get missed a lot in today's game because analytically they're having trouble evaluating that sixth tool, which was makeup, and Ryan had that off top of the charts.
I appreciate that, Buck.
What?
Yeah,
you see that, man.
One point. Yeah, I know, that's my man.
Love that.
One of the points I made a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the bubble and how it was going to affect all sports, and then baseball in particular with the guys going out there and playing without fans. And, I always wanted the guy on my team that in the 9th inning gets the big hit or the pitcher that comes up with a big out, in a big situation. I wasn't necessarily concerned about what the overall numbers were or what your salary was. I wanted, like you said earlier, the winning player. And so many times you see guys with great numbers. However, when it's crunch time, they can't produce. When there's no fans in the stands and that energy and you don't get to feed off of that, I think you have to create that yourself. But really, you see who can do that and who's playing this thing for the right reasons and who can't,
Good point. You want to find out whose finger doesn't shake on that trigger. And I think the Yankees miss that a lot because not only do they miss the home field advantage, I think they miss it more than any team. They also miss those people booing. I mean, Stanton goes 0 for 5 with 4 punch-outs. There's an accountability there. That was one great thing about managing there. There's a lot of stuff kind of got taken care of itself because the fans were very knowledgeable, very emotionally tied to the team, and they were very demonstrative about it. And I think that kind of worked in their favor. I think they missed that a little bit.
You mentioned managing in New York. Tell me about Derek Jeter. Now, you drafted him, correct?
Yeah, Derek, the first time I saw him, he weighed about 165 pounds in the dugout. He'd come in post-draft. But I watched him interact with his mom and dad and his sisters, and I knew that a lot of things that challenged players off the field in New York City weren't going to challenge him because, let's face it, guys, I'm at the mercy of mothers and fathers of the world at that level because by the time you get them, you get an idea of how they've been raised. And Derek was raised very well. But, Derek's style was his substance. His substance wasn't, his substance was his style. His style wasn't his substance. I mean, Derek, his grace and the way he carried himself, play that long in New York City and not embarrass the organization, your teammates, or your family for that number of years, pretty remarkable.
Yeah. Buck Showalter is our guest, our celebrity guest picker. Buck, are you good to hang for a quick break so we come back? We'll do the picks in the next segment?
I'm good. We're still cooking dinner.
Cool. Much appreciated. Buck Showalter is our guest. Amazing. I won 3,000 games of Big League Managers, hanging out with us here on AFR. Fired up for that. We'll do our picks when we come back next with Buck Showalter. Stay here.
AFR.
Speaking of cooking dinner, don't do that tonight. Go to Ichiban. Essen near Perkins or Airline Highway in Gonzales. You know why you go there?
To get a Moscona roll.
That's one reason you could do it. Most creative specialty rolls, the freshest fish. It's only at Ichiban. You know the drill as well. If you go to Ichiban and you order a Moscona roll, you tweet me a picture, you share it on Instagram, I'm giving you a shout-out on the air because we always appreciate those of you who go support our sponsors. When it comes to sushi, Ichiban is the best. Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales. Shout out to Jay Duplessis. He's the guy who today went to Ichiban, had it for lunch. Look at that picture of his Moscona roll. He crushed it.
Jeez, where is it?
That's what's left of the Moscona roll, actually. But either way, Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales. Dine in or carry out. They have curbside to go as well. So if you're not dining in, if you're not comfortable going in because of COVID, place your order. They'll bring it out to you when you show up. It's at Ichiban. 2 locations. Make tonight and Ichiban night.
$11,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but 2 NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
One of the comments in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat said, amazing conversation, and to get Buck for another segment, knocked it out of the park. So Buck Showalter good enough to hang out with us here, our celebrity guest picker. Mississippi State grad, played at State in the late 70s. Buck, we actually pulled up some old photos of you playing at State in the 70s, and the crazy thing is there's one. Can you pull that one up, Paul, so they could see it, the one that was on the State Twitter? It was back when you won Manager of the Year back in 2014. You look actually identical, like you haven't aged. I mean, do you get that often?
Please.
No, like I'm dead serious.
Hey,
I don't know if you looked older.
He just looked old when he was
Is
when he was a
is
kid.
that what it
That's
is?
it.
Like,
Yeah.
did you look older when you were younger, or is it just that this is a black and white photo and we're missing a lot of like the youthful details?
You guys are losing your credibility.
No,
now,
Paul,
okay?
do me a favor. Do the full screen one so you can see what I'm saying.
Like I'm supposed to. I can't see it. But
No,
anyway,
but I know you can't. But I want some validation from our audience who's watching and from Theriot as well. I saw the picture earlier. I was like, damn, he kind of looks the same. Maybe.
Well,
Not that. That's a young one. That's the other one.
You remember, Starkville to me was a big city. I came from the smallest public school in the state of Northwest Florida. I went to a little junior college, and I got to Starkville, and I said, man, look at all these people running around here.
Oh, man.
Starkville was big. And then I went up to Cape Cod League and played in Hyannis, and that really put me in another area code. There were some other things going on in this world that I didn't know were going on. I'll leave it at that.
Have you ever been to a game in Baton Rouge? Look at that picture. Tell me that. Like, look at that. Does not look
Football?
like a 20-year-old.
You talking about football?
Or for any.
It was on my bucket list, and I went to a game about 10 or 12 years ago, just to go to a game. And I tell you, when they start filling up those 5-yard lines with the band, with that Hold the Tiger and get a little bit bigger, it gets a little louder each time. Pretty special, guys.
Yeah,
okay, I laugh when these guys from around the country think they know what college football is about, like the Pac-10 and some of the other. I just chuckle. I said, "Come on down to Baton Rouge, Tuscaloosa," and then you answer the question again.
You know, Buck, and I'm not pandering here. One of the most underrated environments is Starkville because the way that stadium's configured, they've made 55,000 or 60,000 sound like 90.
Stupid
Cowbells.
Cowboys.
The Cowbells
it's
help.
close to 70 now.
Oh,
yeah, I'm a big fan of Mike Leach. I've been not pushing, but pulling for them to hire him for a long time. If they play tomorrow and don't do some stupid things and don't have to call a timeout in the third series because they can't get a play in and they don't hit somebody out of bounds, and when somebody does something stupid, they're accountable for it. He's got me at hello.
All right.
Not that hard.
Buck Showalter is our celebrity guest picker, so let's do it. It's week 4 in college football, but the first week that the SEC is participating. So this is the deal, Buck. We'll keep a running total all year long. We're not picking against the spread, just winners. So all you got to do is give me who the winner is. Have you gotten to watch any or much college football so far through the first 3 weeks?
Guys, I should probably admit to you now, I'm a huge college football fan.
I love it.
Oh, damn.
I love it.
I love it. I've been doing it for a long time, and even in September and October, I'd had the clubhouse, the bat boy, go upstairs and tell me what the score was.
Hell yes, man.
God. He's about to boat race me.
Dude, is Buck Showalter going to set the bar for the guest pick? Like, I think Gary V won it last year at 5-2, or 6-1.
6-1.
I don't think we've ever had a perfect 7-0.
No.
Which, with no spread.
Well, I won't because I know LSU's going to win, but I'm going to have to pick the team.
I love that you're sabotaging yourself. All right, let's start. We're gonna go chronologically. Start with the morning games and move to the evening, but we'll finish with LSU and State. Okay, 11 a.m. Central Time. Kentucky at Auburn. This is about a touchdown spread, but a lot of people thinking Kentucky pull the upset. Buck, what do you think?
Well, it's 7.5. They're starting with I'm going to take Auburn, but I think Kentucky's going to give them all they want. You know, when you're playing teams that are better than you want to play them early in the year because in the SEC what happens, teams like LSU and Alabama, when they get to their second, third-string linemen, which everybody does playing in this type of conference, their depth is so much better than the Kentuckys and the Vandy's and the Ole Miss. And so you want to play those people while you got your front-line people for early in the year, but I'm still going to take Auburn. I love Kentucky's coach.
Buck, I love that you knew about the hook on the line.
He got it.
Right. Me and Brian looked at each other like, he knew about the hook. All right, for Theriot, go ahead.
I'm going with the upset right here, and here's why. The gimmick.
What's the hook, guys? What's the hook?
No. The gimmick offense that Kentucky's going to bring, the fact that season has been in flux the whole time. Nobody exactly knew what was going on, how to prepare, who to prepare for, and I'm going to go the opposite way. They will not be ready, and give me Kentucky.
I am actually going to agree with you, Terry. I'm going to take Kentucky. I think Kentucky is actually better on both lines of scrimmage. Auburn lost. They were like to the offensive and defensive line.
You can't agree with me. You've never agreed with me.
I know I've never agreed with you, but this is one instance where you might actually be right. I think Kentucky wins the game outright. All right, Louisville at Pitt. Does Louisville bounce back after their embarrassment at the hands of Miami last week? Buck, Louisville at Pitt.
I got Pitt.
Okay.
I think I like the way they play. I like the way they're described. I think the home field advantage means more to them than normally with nobody in the stands. Louisville having to travel a little bit. I like Pittsburgh. I'll leave it at that.
I'm going with Pitt as well. Defensive line is unbelievable.
Oh, stop acting like you don't even name one.
I don't know their names. I just know they get after the quarterback.
Name the coach at Pittsburgh.
It's called show prep.
Name the coach at Pittsburgh.
Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher's the coach.
Name the mascot at Pitt.
Right. Pitt.
Exactly.
It's the Pitt.
Exactly.
The Pitts.
Exactly.
Give me Pitt.
This is my analyst here, Buck. Doesn't even know the mascot of the team he's
Give me
picking.
Pitt.
He knows he's picking them. But I'm taking Pitt as well. I think Louisville.
God.
I watched Louisville last week against Miami. They're not impressive. They got pushed around. I think Pitt wins as well. Speaking of a team that may push somebody around, Army at Cincinnati. 13 and a hook since he's favored. Buck, what do you think? Can the Black Knights go on the road and get it done?
How does Cincinnati favor 13 against Army?
I don't know, man.
Do they know something we don't know?
My bet's
I'm
already been
one of those
played.
guys, sometimes when I'm not sure, I take the team that I like pulling for. I like pulling for Army. I like pulling for Air Force. I like pulling for Navy because they play the game right. They don't get penalized. And I think the type of discipline need to play in this environment that we're playing in today's world, it really behooves Army. I got Army.
Give me Army as well.
No reason?
Nope.
I'm going to tell you what. I think Army is going undefeated this year. They will be favored. For all the reasons Buck just said, this Army team is so bleeping physical. They are going to go to Cincinnati tomorrow and push Cincinnati around. And remember, Army last year took Michigan to overtime. 2 years ago, they took Oklahoma to overtime. They're not going to be scared going on the road to Cincinnati.
They're in the Army. They're not going to be scared.
Army, I know they're a 2-touchdown underdog. I think Army wins that game outright. And don't be surprised. Army is going to push to be the group of 5 team in the New Year's Six. And I would love, for the same reason Buck said, I would love to see. I would love to pull for Army all year long. All right, the game that was massive in the early 90s, it isn't anymore, but still looks cool on the marquee. Florida State at Miami. Buck, what do you think?
By the way, have you guys been to an Army-Navy game?
Never.
Put it on your bucket list. You got to go. Okay? I did it there in Baltimore with Navy, in Annapolis. It'll be one of the highlights of your life. Okay, the game was what?
It's Florida State at Miami.
I hate to do this to a new coach at Florida State because I love to see guys get off to a fresh start, but I'm going to take Miami. I'll leave it alone. I just like their athleticism down there, and I think Florida State's still kind of trying to figure out who they are.
I think both of these teams stink, but I'm going to go with Miami as well because they got the big turnover chain.
It's so stupid. I'm taking Miami as well. Too much athleticism. De'Aaron King's awesome, and no coach at Florida State. I mean, like Mike Norvell's not even going to coach the game. He's got COVID. He's out. I don't know how that works. All right, back in the SEC. Buck, Tennessee at South Carolina. Line's 3.5, but a lot of people think South Carolina might be able to win this game. Too much hype for Tennessee? What do you think?
You know, habitually, South Carolina's had 2 teams they've always played close, Georgia and Tennessee.
Look at my guy.
I'd love to take Tennessee because I want Tennessee to be good again. I think the SEC needs Tennessee to be good again. They're going to have to recruit out of state in order to do it because there's just not enough high school talent to take care of them in Tennessee like most places. But I'm gonna take South Carolina.
Buck, by the way, Buck, you're hired. You can come be our football analyst every Friday.
Every Friday.
There's not like talking about like it's just. I mean, Buck, you know this, but because you already said it, like outside of the SEC, there isn't like this great deep knowledge. But like to know about recruiting in Tennessee, that's like deep next level stuff, man. That's awesome.
Well, you've got to Alabama's got Alabama, Auburn, but they have to go into Georgia, Mississippi, and some in Texas. But Tennessee lost their ability to recruit nationally. That's what they did for years, and they haven't been able to do that.
You're right. They pluck look at Peyton Manning. They pluck so many kids out of New Orleans that they don't get anymore. All right, Terry, what do you think?
Florida?
Yeah.
Give me Tennessee.
I am going to agree again with you, Ryan. I do think Tennessee is going to have enough on the road, mostly because I think in this season it's going to favor this is a trend that I believe it's going to favor teams that have stability at quarterback and head coach. In a weird year, you got a new OC, a new grad transfer quarterback coming in from Colorado State at South Carolina. I think Tennessee is a little more stable, even going on the road. I like Tennessee in a close game. All right, the big one, 2:30, Death Valley, CBS. The Bulldogs coming into Baton Rouge to take on the Fighting Tigers. The defending champs will raise a flag. Ed Ogeron will talk about the greatest sound in college football. The LSU Tigers going to war. Mike Leach will have a pirate ship. Is he going to have a pirate ship?
He may have a pirate ship.
Saber. All right, Buck. Can your alma mater spring the upset? Ruin LSU's championship parade? What do you think?
Well, if they're ever going to do it, it'd be early in the year. Leach is not going to let them put a lot of pressure on the quarterback because he's going to get the ball out of his hands. They're going to have a lot of checkdowns. So the pass rush won't mean a whole lot because they're going to get the ball out of his hands. They got the transfer from Stanford who knows the system. Even though he's going to have to make a little adjustment to play in the SEC, I don't think they got any place like Baton Rouge out in Stanford, Palo Alto, or wherever. This is what I was thinking with my heart. On paper they shouldn't beat them, but Army may lose because they may have to send the Army to Baton Rouge to help the Bulldogs get back to Starkville if they beat them. So I'm going to stick with alma mater.
I respect him. You know what, Buck? We had Karl Malone on the show the week that LSU played Louisiana Tech a few years back, and he was the guest picker. And he went with Louisiana Tech. And God bless him. I just love the loss. He's like,
what are we supposed to do?
I know. But come on, man. It's like when Louisiana Tech was coming in a 40-point underdog. I understand, but what are you going to do? All right, what do you got, Terry?
We can talent up with you guys the first game of the season. It's when you get into that second, third string guys is where your depth shows up with your depth of your recruiting. Okay, I'll shut up. Go get them.
I don't want you to shut up, man. I want you to keep talking.
And you got a great offensive mind, no doubt about it. You got a quarterback that can spin it, but here's the problem. Derek Stingley's the best player in college football. And you've got another defensive back on the other side that's not as good but close. You've got a defensive backfield that is going to feast. They're going to bump and run right in the receiver's face. The receivers won't be able to get out their break and get their routes clean. And I'm going with the Tigers, obviously, because of that.
I'm going to pick LSU as well. I'll give a full breakdown on it a bit later in the show. Buck Showalter. Yeah, go ahead.
You guys really stepped out there. That was a tough call for you.
Well, you're 3-touchdown favorite, and I think it's going to be a good day for the Tigers in Baton Rouge. Buck, this was awesome, man. To spend 30 minutes with us on your Friday afternoon. Cannot thank you enough for being generous enough with your time. This was so much fun, man. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right. God bless y'all. Thanks for having me. Stay careful. Bye-bye.
It is our pleasure. Buck Showalter, so much fun. That's the kind of guy we're talking in the break. That's the kind of guy I could literally get in here for 3 hours and spend and feel like time flew by. Because, I mean, you could go so deep into what was it like playing at Mississippi State in the 70s, playing for Ron Polk, the development of the college game. You could go into the layers of his minor league career. How close did he come to ever making it to the show? Then becoming a manager, managing the Yankees in the early 90s for Steinbrenner, drafting Jeter. He got fired after the 95, which was, for me, as a baseball fan, my most disappointing year was 95 because my whole childhood, the Yankees stunk, man. Like, they went through their lull in the 80s and early 90s, and then Don Mattingly's only playoff appearance was in 95. And then they lost the divisional round in the Kingdome when with Jay Buhner and Tino Martinez and Griffey Jr. Scoring the game-winning run. That was crushing. Like, when your team had never, ever been there before in your lifetime, right, despite their history of success. Like, Buck was the manager of that team. And then he gets fired after that game, and then they bring in Joe Torre and they win the World Series the next year. They beat Atlanta. And so it's like, there's that angle. He goes to Arizona. He's the manager of the Diamondbacks, and he's not renewed after the 2000 season. And then
they were horrible too, by the way, when he got there.
He inherited an awful franchise. Built him up. He's not renewed after 2000. They brought in the guy with the mustache. What was his name?
Bob Brenly.
And then they beat the Yankees in the 01 World Series, one of the greatest World Series ever. And with Luis Gonzalez in the walk-off, like, he had a great run in Texas with the Rangers. I mean, he took over the Orioles when they were miserable and brought them to relevance. He was manager of the year in 2014. I mean, he's like a guy who's been there, done it, seen it, been through the steroid era, and then the subsequent the strike in '94. He talked about the regret he had for baseball and the strike in the '94 season. And I don't know, man. Like, that's a guy we could go through. And then, dude, his knowledge.
He knows college football. He knows college football.
I mean, I would say the only other person we've had on that had that deep a knowledge of the college football games that we were previewing was Barkley.
Yeah, Barkley was good.
I mean, we've had guys that know the game.
Yeah.
We had football players, but not everybody that we've had on is like so in tune right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he's sitting there breaking down Army and Cincy. What you got, Brain?
Between Buck Showalter and Fred Smoot, where does Mississippi State rank for guest pickers?
Guest pickers, like Pantheon.
They're up there.
Fred Smoot was awesome.
He was unbelievable.
He's like, he would be crying. What the baby's going to do? Remember that?
3 hours with him would be good, too.
I actually thought about if you didn't land a guest picker, I was going to call Fred again.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, because he's awesome. Buck Showalter. Guy.
Who would have thought it?
What a way to start. I mean, he's on. I mean, not only has he been a manager, but he's also been on, in media for a ton of years. Well, I mean, he's awesome. So that was so much fun, dude. Good job. You're 1 for 1. You're batting 1,000, bro. You know what? You're a winning player.
Nice little player.
Sure, Ryan was a nice little. Ryan was no, he didn't say nice little player.
No, he didn't.
Ryan was a good player. He's a winning player, is what you said.
Wanted him in your clubhouse.
All right, after further review, let's do breakdowns of Saints Packers and LSU Mississippi State. We'll go full breakdowns and picks next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Premier South Roofing and PremierSouthLA.com, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, North Shore, and online at PremierSouthLA.com. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Super Service Award from Angie's List, Torch Award for Ethics in Business. You know, we've had storms come through. If it were, Laura a few weeks back or a month ago, listen, every time storms come through our area, because we live through it, there are always contractors from out of state that come in to a storm-ravaged area because there's work. But here's the problem. What if you don't know about their quality of work? When you hire them and in a couple of weeks or a month, they're gone, never to be heard from again. What if they did shoddy work? Where does that leave you? Having given someone already your money as you're rebuilding from a storm, and now you have to start over. Don't do that. Trust Premier South Roofing. You have a better experience with a contractor. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and the North Shore. Premier South Roofing.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a Tundra for $7,000 off MSRP. That's right, $7,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hello?
What's up, B? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up?
Roof's up! Roof's up! Roof's up!
Roof's up?
Roof's up!
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
$10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Worst.
War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Do we see the confetti fall? We ready for war. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
All right, rolling along here. We appreciate Don Juan Cigar Bar. Remember, tomorrow, LSU, Mississippi State, as soon as the game goes final. Jordy Collada and I live on the 104.5 ESPN Facebook page and 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. So go now, subscribe it on YouTube, follow on Facebook, set notifications as soon as we go live. Join us for Whiskey and Wine. It's the best post-game show you'll find because we're drinking and smoking cigars and it's
cursing.
Yes,
They curse on it.
It's an internet show, so we are cursing, yes.
Yep.
And that's mostly why people like to watch, so they hear me drop F-bombs.
I go for the cursing.
I'm unapologetic about cursing. I don't care. It doesn't bother me if you curse or I curse. I don't think that that's a bad thing. I'm okay with it.
You like to curse?
Yeah, I don't care.
Have you ever sworn or cursed on air?
I think you mean one of the words you can't say? Because there are words you can say.
You can't say. One that you can't say.
I mean, I think early in my career, I mean, in the first year or two, I was DJing on a station. It was Rock 93.7.
Okay.
It was an alt rock station. Played 90s rock, like alternative rock from the 90s, and then current, like early 2000 stuff. And I think I did one time on there. You just kind of, you're in a different vibe, right? You're in a different mindset. It's rock radio, it's just different. And I think I did let us. I can't remember if it was an S or an F. I think it was an S.
An S.
I think it was an S that slipped.
Did you get in trouble?
No. Rohan does it every week.
He does.
Otter did it last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
I think I have once.
You said baby, yes, and I'll tell you how I know. It was when someone's child defecated in the bathroom in a trash can in an office at Traction. And you said baby S, and I know this because I clipped that, and Drew watches that video all the time.
He likes that one?
He likes everything that you're in. I know we've told. I'm not pandering. Like,
why does he like?
I don't know why, but he likes you a lot, and he always finds Ryan videos. And it's hi. He says hi, Ryan. He sees Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Like, and that's one that he likes. I don't know because you laughed, and I mean, it's so weird. There's clips from the show that I've memorized only because they were clipped. They're in the camera roll. Drew's found them, watched them, and so I know them. So like,
I want that one. Can you send me that?
Yes,
I'd
I
love
can.
to see that.
All right. Otterlock's coming up here in a bit. Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge?
8-time Best of the Best award winners at Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge. As always, 130 beautiful new in-stock Mercedes-Benz over there on Airline Highway. There's 80 pre-owned in stock. You can check them out at mbobr.com. My guy Hess is in there doing his thing. Great service. Check them out, mbobr.com, Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
All right, well, Otterlocks with Jimmy Ott's coming up. And then we'll give you our LSU Mississippi State picks to wrap up the show. Saints, Packers. I'll let you go first. Real quick though, for those who are just joining us, haven't heard, latest injury report, which is out, which came out here in the last hour or so. I think we'll label this as good news. Marcus Davenport practiced again today. He's questionable. Trey Hendrickson practiced, questionable. Ty Montgomery and David Onyemata both were limited today after practicing fully the first 2 days of the week, but both are questionable. If they get Marcus Davenport back and they're full strength on the defensive line, that's huge. It's huge because you're facing Aaron Rodgers and a Green Bay team that they drafted A.J. Dillon out of Boston College last year. They do have a strong running backs, and the Saints have been really good against the run, and I want to see them obviously make Aaron Rodgers throw the ball and beat him, which sounds stupid, but you'd rather not be gashed, running the football. And then if you can put pressure on Rodgers, obviously the better. So If Davenport's good to go, I'd be thrilled to see that. And then for the Packers, Devontae Adams is officially listed as doubtful. He did not practice again today with the hamstring injury. So Rodgers' best offensive weapon may not be available. And then Kenny Clark, the big defensive lineman, was limited today. He's listed as questionable for the game on Sunday Night Football. All right, Saints hater, you go ahead.
Okay, I feel like I've been pretty hard on the Saints.
Yeah.
This year, but last year as well. And I did some reflecting on that. Here's what I see with the Saints right now. They look like the St. Louis Cardinals in 2011. You have some aging veterans. You got some young guys coming up that are going to have great careers. You got some big pieces there. Yeah, you might start off a little slow, but in the end, the experience is going to come through. Same thing in San Francisco in 2012. Barry Zito, of all people, throwing 80 poo, ends up being the MVP of the NLCS and World Series. Drew is going to be fine. Drew's going to pull through. Drew's our first ballot Hall of Famer. Y'all get off of Drew's back, okay? It was the game plan. Get off of his damn back.
I see what you're doing.
He's a guy. He's going to be a guy. He's going to pull it all together, and they're going to do great this year. They're going to be in the Super Bowl. I'm not saying a win, but they're coming back. So anybody that's pissed at the Saints right now because of what's happened, like I was that guy, but I've done some reflecting. This is a veteran team with a great coach. They're going to be there in the end.
I'm going to ride with the Saints as well. You're picking the Saints this weekend?
From here on out, I'm riding with them.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you that I'm riding the rest of the way. They're going to be undefeated. But I do think the Saints are going to win on Sunday. I'm going to ride with them on Sunday Night Football, and they're a 3-point favorite, and I think it's justified. There's enough of a sample size with this franchise, in particular this head coach and this quarterback and this core group of players, to see how they respond to adversity. And they have been caught napping. The other thing also is we chronicled this a bunch about how much the Saints have struggled each of the last 3 years in the first 2 weeks. It's the analogy I keep giving. It's like a fighter. Some fighters need a couple of rounds to wake up and get going a little bit. Some are they come out. I mean, they come out firing. I mean, Green Bay was that this year, has been that. But the Saints a year ago, this is just all too familiar. A year ago, they went out to L.A. They lost Drew Brees to injury. They were embarrassed in that game, 27-9. They got pushed around by the Rams. People were writing them off, and they had to go to Seattle the next week, and they beat Seattle 33-27. Later in the season, they had a really disappointing, embarrassing loss at home to coming off the bye to Atlanta, 27-9. A week later, they go on the road to Tampa and double the Bucs, 34-17. Brees threw for 228 in that game. Michael Thomas had 114 yards. I know Michael Thomas isn't playing, but I think this is one of those games where Sean Payton and Drew Brees throughout their career have been fantastic when they face adversity at finding a way to get over that adversity. And I think they do it on Sunday night. I'm actually going to pick the exact same score that the Saints won by a year ago in this spot. I'm going to pick New Orleans 33-27. In part, I think I would love it. God, I would love it if there was a crowd, because the Saints have been so good in prime time in the Dome in the Peyton Brees era. I would love it if they had that home field advantage with the crowd. They don't, but it's still a home game. I know that it's on a short week, but I'm going to believe the Saints are going to get right on Sunday Night Football. They're going to win the game 33-27, and then off we go from there. Let's see how they piece it together as they get closer to get Mike Thomas back and moving forward. So give me the Saints 33-27 in the Dome on Sunday Night Football, one they have to have, and I think that they get. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out our final break of the show. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. Theantiagingclinics.com. Hormone replacement therapy, and a few more days left in this month to take advantage of fresh faces for fall at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Botox, fillers, things like that. Hydrofacials, all deeply discounted this month at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Online, theantiagingclinics.com. Okay, it's after further review. We'll knock out our final break. We'll come back. We'll get Jimmy Ott's Otterlock very quickly, and then we will wrap up with a pick for LSU and Mississippi State as we put a button on a Football Friday edition of AFR. Thanks for being here. Stick around.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Feeling a little bit like fall, yeah?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Getting a little cool out.
You know what that means? Plant your fall vegetable gardens. Decorate with pumpkins and garden flags. And
scarecrows,
hay bales. All of those things you decorate for fall, they're available now. You go decorate your front porch, your back patio, whatever it is. You can do it with some decorations from Clegg's Nursery. If you want to plant your fall vegetable garden or trees or shrubs, this is the perfect time to do it as the weather is starting to change a little bit as we move into fall. And then also, is it too late for deer hunters to put out your plots and stuff?
No.
Okay, so buckbusters, deer corn, mow bucks, all that stuff that we talk about, they had the basic and the premium. They got it at Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. They've been in business for more than 60 years. Support a great business that supported our community for 60 years. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
You know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community without being asked? We think that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust. If you know someone who exhibits all of these qualifications, nominate them for a Good Citizen Award, and they could receive $500 from Citizens Bank. And we'll recognize them here on the show. Get the details at citizensbankandtrust.com, and then nominate your good citizen.
$11,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Peyton was awesome the whole time, like so friendly, very quick to just come up, like let me know if there's anything you need, and just really make you feel like you're taken care of and you're kind of part of their little law family.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
All right, Football Friday. So Jimmy Ott, tell us what he's betting on this weekend.
Otterlocks, presented by Hot Rods Creole. The way to Creole. Shop online, hotrodscreole.com.
Light of the week. What is up, Matthew? Football Friday. Yes, indeed. All right, here's what we got. First of all, in college football, kind of wait and see for most of the games in the SEC. do kind of have a little bit of a lean on Auburn, -7.5 against Kentucky. Kentucky's a public dog here. A lot of push on them. This thing was 17.5 3 months ago when it first came out. They took it off when they canceled the season or postponed the season, and then they come back and they put it up at 7.5. I like Auburn. I mean, just stronger program. It hadn't been since the mid-'70s since Kentucky was only catching 7.5 at Auburn, even though it's a compromised home field advantage. And one game outside of the league, and that is Army. Army has probably had the weakest competition of anybody in Division I. Middle Tennessee State is garbage, and UL Monroe is not far behind. So they've won and covered easily in both of those games, kind of high-profile games. That's keeping this line low a little bit. Major move up in class here. Give us Cincinnati -13.5. Luke Fickell and the boys against Army. Army's kind of an average team. They've just had some real weak competition. We're going with the Bearcats in that one. Good luck, Matthew.
That is Otter Locks. Jimmy was good enough to record that for us earlier today because it's Friday at 6 o'clock. I completely disagree with him on Army. I picked Army straight up to win the game. I think they're more physical. I think they're going to win that ball game. 2-touchdown dog, but I think they got a great chance to win it. All right, LSU. By the way, Otter Locks brought to you by Hot Rods Creole. It is a football weekend. You know you're going to be cooking. Cook with a local expert. Cook with Hot Rods Creole. Rodney Beloso. He's a guy. You know Rodney. Awesome dude. I mean, you see Rodney, you big bear hug. You know this is the guy you want standing over the pit, grilling up your meats or whatever it is. Hot Rods Creole, the way to Creole. The thing that I would recommend the most if you go to the website, hotrodscreole.com, get one of their boxes. The Big Daddy box, the starter kit, or the barbecue kit. Get one of all of their products so you can try it all. HotRodsCreole.com. HotRodsCreole.com. The way to Creole. Use the promo code AFR and get free shipping. HotRodsCreole.com. All right, LSU, Mississippi State. What do you see?
Oh, it's going to be a close game for about a quarter. And then you can see the Tigers pull away. Miles Brennan splashing onto the scene big time. The Tigers, 35-10.
35-10. I think it's naive to think that Mike Leach's offense, with a grad transfer quarterback who threw for 3,700 yards a couple of years ago, a running back that ran for 1,300 yards last year, that this offense isn't going to move the ball at all. But LSU's just got too much talent. They're at home defending champs, and I think State's defense is going to have trouble with LSU's talent on offense. LSU, 38-20. See y'all Monday.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138, ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows, ReliefWindows.com. Look, we're talking about energy-efficient replacement windows. In some instances, Brandon Holly's seen his clients lower their energy bill by $200-$300 a month. What if you could save that much money on your energy bills every month? Make your home more energy efficient, increase your home's resale value. Think about it. You install energy efficient replacement windows that beautify your home, lower the energy bill, and come with a lifetime transferable warranty. So when you sell your home, that warranty transfers to the next homeowner. It increases your home's resale value. I know we had our house appraised about a year and a half ago, and we got credit in our appraisal for those windows. Relief Windows, ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138 or ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding. ReliefWindows.com.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station. 100.7, The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
$11,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new